G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Moulding still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
Good morning and welcome to Mil Jura Senior College for the fourth and final day of our Global Spirited Cricket Festivale T20 tournament. Pat Silcox alongside of Peter Walsh, as we can see the players Walshy observing a minute's silence.
A very sad time indeed, and our information is that we share that with you as our viewers and our listeners. Nick Cullinan lost his son, Alex, who was just 24 years of age. Circumstances passed through yesterday. Nick has left us and gone back to be with the family and to share in some times of grief. And we, as a community in the spirit of cricket, pass on our best wishes to Nick and the family for the tragic loss of their son, Alex, who was to be married in a couple of weeks' time. And the spirit of cricket is to the fore. There is absolutely no doubt that everyone is sharing in the grief experienced and endured by Nick and the family, and we pass that on too by way of our commentary team and our team of professionals in the production staff here at what is a sporting, well, I suppose the best way of saying it is it's a precinct of substance, and there's a fair amount of genuine warm hugs that are taking place here. We need to mention that to you so you are aware, and again, we stress for Nick and the family, you take care. Our thoughts are with you.
Beautifully done, Walshy. Other games that are going to be played this morning. We'll see Saxon Kings against Spot On Strikers. We also have the RJR All-Stars and Team Thunder, who are just out behind us on Mil Jura Senior College number 2. And Lightning Storm taking on Australian Pavilion. Now, I did have word, Pete, from Anthony Telfer that a couple of those games are potentially going to move away from turf wickets to hard wickets, which will mean we'll see games played, one of them out of the Aeros, and potentially a third game to take place here at the Mil Jura Senior College. way down the back on the synthetic as well. But weather-wise, couldn't ask for a much better day as we work our way towards the final, which will get underway from 2 p.m. this afternoon.
No, wake up this morning and have a look and think to yourself, gee, it's a good day for cricket. It's a good day for the two sides that haven't met each other, and they were supposed to play each other yesterday, but that match was abandoned. We're going to see one of those sides here. That's, of course, the side in the blue. That's EV2 Cricket. And we should mention, too, the Team Thunder finished on top of the table with 11 points, EV2 Cricket 9. Then we had Saxon Kings and Spot On Strikers, 6s each of 2. And then Spot On Strikers, underneath them, RJR All-Stars, Sand Gropers, Australian Pavilion and Lightning Storm, all 4 points, all a couple of wins. So I think Telf and the troops, they'd be pretty chuffed about the fact that every team has got a start, has got points, and the two best teams on the table are getting ready for this afternoon. And the amazing part about it is that we're going to see one of them right now and get a bit of an idea as to how they're going, and just over the back, the other one's going. So they're both going to have a good look at what the light's like and what the tracks are like, and we can have a good look too.
They're playing on the same wicket as they did yesterday, which is a couple across from the middle where we were on the opening day. So that wicket looked to play quite well yesterday, despite the covers being down and a little bit of rain through the first session of that first game. So opening up for the Sand Gropers here with the bat, Jamie Lee and Ben Warren. Jamie's been in fantastic touch. Ticked over 200 runs in the tournament yesterday. And we did see him earlier in the tournament, Walshy, and he likes to get on with the job, doesn't he?
He does. He does. And I'm just amazed at what the thought patterns are of this very experienced team, led grandly by Andrew Kratzman, about, okay, this is the last game before the grand final. Are there any changes at all in the mindset or what's going to happen? Let's work it out now from ball one.
It's Damien Meek. He's taking the new ball from the southern end. He's bowling to Lee. You see Mark Kratzman in the outfield there, and of course he's had a few injury concerns coming into this one after the tri-series. Did take a rest on the first morning. Has found his way back up to the top of the order for EV2 Cricket, and he will be important not only in this game, Walshy, but certainly the final to come this afternoon as well.
Meek in, and this ball is driven handsomely down the ground. That's a lovely shot out towards the boundary. It rolls and rolls and rolls into the ropes, and, down there, a dive in an attempt to stop the ball, and you've got to be careful down there. Early days too, that down there was William Moggs, and he showed a lot in the field the last time we saw him play, and that's not yesterday because they didn't play, but the day before. But that was a good shot down there to open proceedings. Meek over pitching and Lee driving for a boundary.
He really is an imposing figure at the crease, Jamie Lee. I reckon if there's any fullness in the length, you'll look to take him down the ground. This time it's just back of a length from Meek, and Lee's just pushing out into the covers.
There's a bit of bragging rights around too with the side that is playing against one of the sides in the grand final. If Sand Gropers can perform with distinction, it'd be nice to say, oh, well, we knocked off one of the teams playing in the final. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, they've won their last two in a row, so they're full of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lee stepping back, and the ball's taken there by Matt Harris, just forward a point. So just having a look at their field set. They've got a deep third man. There's a man out at backward square on the rope, and also a long on as well. So they've got their three men out for this opening power play. Meek is getting some nice tail away from the right-handed batsman. So scuttled through for the single. The keeper was caught in no man's land there, and the ball has gone past him, and it may almost go to the rope for 4 overthrows, and I believe it has, Walshy.
It has.
Quite remarkable. We might get a look back at that one in replay, but the keeper was sort of halfway between where he was situated to take the ball from Meek and coming into the stumps, and the throw missed the target completely. So not ideal for EV2 Cricket. Jamie Lee's certainly not going to say no to an extra 4 runs to be added to his tally.
No. And if we look to our right, Horse, of course, is there as our scorer. And how many runs have we seen in overthrows? I won't throw that to him. It's a bit early for those sorts of questions, isn't it?
Maybe the innings break might be worthwhile, just a gentle nudge. He's been a tower of strength for us, hasn't he, on the NV plane?
Absolutely. Yeah, the scoring absolutely so important for us, and we get it. And this is an eventful over, but not for the man who's got the ball. That's Meek right up in the block hole, pushed away towards cover point, and there's no run. I should make mention too, now that I've got the chance with Meek bowling, Donna, who is Meekie's wife, their daughter Lily Walker is playing basketball over in Portland, Oregon, in the US of A. Second year as a sophomore. She's a shooting guard and small forward. She's been playing since she was 6 years of age. Dreamt of playing college basketball. She played for the Black Stars basketball team in Townsville, and she went to the international games at 12 years of age and won a gold medal. Started playing with Queensland aged 14 under the coach Luke Brennan, is coached by Shannon Seabohm and Shane Frolling, both names synonymous with the sport of basketball. She's got this scholarship, and good luck to her, and congratulations, Lily. We're getting that information passed on from Donna and Damien, and the pride in Donna scratching out some notes for me in my book. I just loved it because there's so much love in the air and a lot of information being shared regularly by way of social media. Good on you, Lily.
It's a great story, Walshy. Mum and Dad proud as punch. She's achieving her dreams, her hoop dreams as they were over in the US of A. As it looks like it's going to be Dylan Fernandez coming left arm over the wicket, bowling from the school end. As that one's pushed wide outside the off stump, and it's called a wide by the umpire. So EV2 Cricket winning the toss here this morning, electing to field. And Gropers have made a pretty decent start there, none for 10. Of course, we just had the one delivery, which was a wide in this second over. Jamie Lee, the key man at the top of the order. Bit of extra bounce that time from Fernandez as it comes through to Hammer Stewart behind the stumps. He was tidy with the gloves when we saw him a couple of days ago, Pete.
Yep. He's a big man too, the bowler. Can you hear the drums, Fernandez, when he's racing in and staring at you and getting ready to deliver a short lifter or well up in the block hole? We'll wait and see. And Jamie Lee hasn't got too much longer to wait. That's outside the off stump. It's a little bit too wide to play the shot, and through it goes to the keeper. A lovely meal with Telf and his partner last night. We just sat and enjoyed the spoils of some pasta and talked about how the competition had sorted itself out and what was going to happen today. Lots to look forward to. As this ball is over-pitched and driven back down the ground. Hit pretty well too, hit very well indeed. That's gone all the way. He's picked it up magnificently and hit it back down the ground. It's beaten Willie Moggs, and that was a lusty blow. And that's 6 coming off the third ball of the second over, and this is a really good start. A start by the Sandgropers, who at the start of the week we thought, oh, look, they're in all sorts of bother. Well, there's no bother at the moment, none for 16. This next ball is taken on the pad outside the leg stump. It rolls back down the track. None for 16, Lee 15 and Warren on 1. Be good for them too, but there's a bit of freedom, I reckon, out there too, Pat, because they can't go any further than this game, but they'd love to finish the way that they've been going in the last couple of days.
Yeah, spot on, Walshy, as we wait for Fernandez once again. This one back of a length, and Lee's just forcing out into the offside. Had a message from one of our local sporting luminaries, Sammy Smythe, you had the pleasure to meet earlier in the Tri Series. Sam's asking if we could say hello to him, who's watching in on the Sock TV Global stream at the moment.
Yes, he's keen with his sport, isn't he?
Sam.
Sambo. Someone walks towards you with their microphone poised, you think to yourself, this will be good, because in the media, as you well know, with your status here in Mil Jura, with people listening to your dulcet tones on radio, we have a responsibility to share information. If people are going to ask us questions on what we love doing, well, I don't mind answering.
This one is allowed to pass through to the keeper there by Jamie Lee. So the end of 2 completed overs. And the Sandgropers are none for 17. Lee is 15. Warren is yet to score. He's only faced the one delivery so far.
Yes, he at the other end has been able to look. There's the long and the short of it out there too, because one's very tall and one's not. And there's that little, let's tap each other with the gloves and then walk back to where we are to get into position now to concentrate hard and hopefully keep the scores going well. 2 overs, none for 17. That's a very good start.
We were lucky enough to have a chat to Craig Callies from the Sand Gropers a little earlier this morning, and he was thinking that hit me for sixth sign out there on the Deakin Avenue side of the MSC is well and truly in the game here with the pitch right across to that side of the ground.
Yes, it's worth $1 or two. I wonder if we'll see it happen.
Ball is uppishly hit. Paul Adami certainly got his hands to it, and he's ringing them now as it's just going to get pulled up inside the rope there by Andrew Kratzman, who fires it back in. Just the ball going away, and I think he was probably through the shot a little early, but still managed to time it pretty decently to get it over the ring.
It was a good shot, yes. Meg a little bit disappointed with over pitching as he turns now and is waiting for the field to get sorted. In the second over, he has none for 11, so he's been tapped about a bit, which wouldn't like the man that we all like, because he loves his cricket. He's got pretty much ready to deliver this ball. It's on leg stump and it's taken off the pads. Good shot, knocked away towards the onside. Running around and doing the fielding is Ashley Sipple, who cleans up nicely. None for 20 in the third over. Lee 15 and Warren 3. And if you look at where these sides are, Sand Gropers have 2 wins. And for EV2 Cricket, of course, they've got 4 wins and the abandoned game where they picked up a point. And they're playing in exactly the same spot as they'll be playing this afternoon, starting at 2 o'clock. This ball down the offside, and that's well taken now. I saw Meek throw his hands up to his forehead. Did that land just shy of the wicketkeeper?
Yeah, I think you might be right, Peter. We'll get a chance maybe to have a look at a replay, but that was beautifully bowled. The ball starting on around about a middle and off line, and this going away, and even a bit more so off the surface, the wicket. And Lee was beaten all ends up, but maybe not quite getting into the gloves on the full there for Hammer Stewart, which is disappointing for Meek. As that one's straightening up a little, and he's starting to find some good zones now, Meekie.
Yes. Not sure whether we're able to get access to a replay of that flash outside the off stump, but the anguish on the body of the Meek man, nothing meek about the way he plays his game. He was expressing some disappointment. None for 20 in the third. He's in, right arm over, ball of full length, hit down the ground. Good shot. Picked up magnificently and hit with a decent amount of power, and that ran away for 4. He timed that to perfection. So Meek being smacked about the park. None for 16 coming up with 1 ball remaining in his second over. Lee is 19 off 14 and Warren 3 off 3. This is a really good start from the side that was slow out of the blocks, missed the start. If you're in a horse race or a greyhound race or a harness race, they'd certainly miss the start, but now picking up points at the end of this tournament. Last ball of this over, and that's on leg stump. The attempt to turn away is unsuccessful. Meek cleans up during the follow through. None for 24, 7 off that over. Meek none for 16 off 2. Lee 15 balls, and he's scored 19 runs, and he's the busy player at the moment. Peter Walsh in the system with Pat Silcox and our lads to our left doing a brilliant job with our camera work, because we see what we need to see, and that's what we hope our viewers are enjoying too, with the Sand Gropers playing EV2 Cricket.
Quick opportunity, Peter, to have a look around the grounds behind us on Mil Jura Senior College number 2. RJR All-Stars won the toss, decided to bat first, and they are 1 for 10 and started the second over. So Team Thunder picking up an early scalp there. It's the only other live game we've got currently being scored. As we suggested, a couple of those other fixtures looking to be moved away from turf to hard wickets. They may be a little bit behind the clock in their starting time. Maybe a 10:30, 10:45 commencement for those other two, but we'll keep you posted. As Fernandez resumes from the school end. He's going past the outside edge. Ben Warren's bat. He's been a bit of a spectator so far, Benny. He's just been standing down in the non-strikers and watching Jamie Lee hit them to all parts.
Yes, 24 partnership, and he's made 3, but still he's there. That's the main thing. Lee, he's been prepared to jump onto the front foot and play some very impressive shots to both sides of the ground.
Ball's just placed nicely out backward a point. We'll get through for a couple. Our friend the Wasp at the moment currently has the Sand Gropers staring down the barrel of 172. Their completion of their 20 overs, which will be a pretty decent target, you think, to set.
Absolutely. Now, your mission, Pat, should you decide to accept it, is to find out who punches the information into the system where Wasp then takes responsibilities for it, and to find out who might be able to chat to us about the Wasp factor.
I get the feeling, Walshy, that's probably automatically generated
Oh,
based on
okay,
the
so
numbers.
you're getting out of that one quite easily there.
I'd say our man Percy from NV Play, and I did have him on earlier in the Tri Series over in Wentworth, and he gave us a quick spiel, but I reckon that's pretty much how it gets calculated. Just a whole heap of numbers into the system based on runs per over.
Yep.
As that one's just tailing down the leg side and will be called wide by the umpire.
So help me here with this one. And we talk about the opening bowling attack where we've had number 8, Damien Meek, knocked about. Does he bowl his 4? Is there any change at all to what's going on, knowing that the grand final's later this afternoon?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, Pete. Well, I guess we'll find out at the end of this over. He might like to feel that he wants to come back and maybe redeem himself in a second spell. As Warren picks up another single. Score none for 28. We're on 6 and Lee on 19.
That's a good start though, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Ash Sipple certainly played a role with the ball when we saw EV2 Cricket on the opening day, so I'm expecting that he'll get a chance at the crease at some stage. As that is just effortlessly put it away behind point there by Jamie Lee. Just got back and across and didn't really slog the ball, he just timed it beautifully as it's managed to find itself out onto the covers there as Ian Wood looks to try and retrieve the ball. Without getting himself too wet, I'm presuming there's still a bit of moisture on top of the covers.
There might be, yep.
It's very nicely done there by Woody. We have seen some ingenuity in the last couple of days here at this venue, haven't we, Peter, where one of the teams were smart enough to pick up one of the teardrops on the outer side to retrieve it back from underneath the school fence, which was a very switched-on piece of play.
Yeah, and we haven't had any news through to say that there's been a child missing overnight, because the one that went looking for the ball found the ball and brought it back, so that's all good. No dramas at all.
Lee's able to just turn that one around the corner as they continue to tick the scoring rate over. So 4 completed overs and the score is none for 33. Lee is on 24, Warren is 6. I might take a spell.
No, you won't be taking a spell.
No,
I will be.
You will be. All right.
Okay.
Got a special guest to come and join us.
David, he's coming in. All right, I'll just jump out. A chance now to speak to David Newman.
Thanks, Peter. So we continue on here with the score at none for 33. Just get David sorted out with his headset. He's fully kitted up with the mums and dads on, so he's ready to hit the go button shortly. As we get him set up, Damien Meek continues. This one angled into the right-hander. Lee's able to just knock it away onto the offside to pick up the single. Thanks for joining us, David.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on board. Now, I'm presuming that you might not be next in bat, but maybe a couple down the list. You're ready to go?
I'm at 5.
At 5?
Had it up, ready to go.
Beautiful. We were talking about it the other day, actually. My fear when I played cricket was being timed out, so I was always wanting to have my kit on pretty early to make sure that I was ready to go. Nothing worse than getting caught out with a couple of quick wickets and having to strap up and almost having to run out on the ground.
My word, it's strapping up, especially on day 4.
Yes. As we wait on Damien Meek once again. And It's nicely dealt with by Lee. He is in really, really good touch at the moment.
Tremendous shot.
As he deposits that one around the corner. Goes all the way down to the fine leg boundary for 4. Now, David, tell us a bit about the Sand Gropers, because you're a little bit slow out of the blocks, but you found some form yesterday, a couple of really good wins.
We did. The first day we were mildly unlucky. We lost a couple of close games within the teens, and over here and over there, we might have started the carnival a little bit better, but we certainly hit our straps yesterday. It was a terrific performance all around, and Sunday's our favourite day.
So we wait on Meek once again. As Lee is advancing and able to turn that run round the corner. In fact, it might have been Benny Warren, wasn't it? I've got my numbers confused there. Ben's, of course, wearing number 4. Tell us a bit about the group. You've got a good mix from all around the country.
We do. The WA ownership group, there's 4 of them. They put their heads together and came up with a fantastic bunch of guys and an all-round brilliant team. It's just been a wonderful week and a wonderful tournament. We're very thankful to be here. But the organisation itself has just been run the smoothest it ever could. It was right from word go. We've got obviously some terrific gear. We've got kits and helmets and things, and I can't believe how really well it was done. So it's been a great week.
Yeah, no, I remember Telf coming up and seeing me here in Mil Jura about March with the big presentation. I thought, oh, this looks great. It's proven to be even better, I think, as it's played out over the last couple of days, as Warren is getting a leading edge and safely manages to skite down towards the third man boundary. He was turned inside out by that delivery from Damien Meek. But manages to pick up another run to his total. He goes to 12, Lee is 26, score is none for 41. 1 ball remaining in this, the 5th over. Having a chat to David Newham, and of course EV2 Cricket are one of the 2 that we are pretty confident to say we'll get through to the grand final later on this afternoon.
Yep.
And you guys have played the other team up the top of the stack, which is Team Thunder.
We were going to consider ourselves giant killers a little bit after winning 2 terrific games against 2 sides that were in the hunt.
Yep.
Turns out today the final is set. So we're hoping the EV boys might take it easy on us. And somehow I don't think so.
I was having a chat to one of your teammates, Craig Callies, and he did mention that Team Thunder are a pretty impressive outfit.
They are. They chose their side based on fitness, and it just shows they're running around as 50-year-olds is quite incredible. They've got a great... I know most of them. They're Sydney boys.
Yep.
And being a Sydney guy myself, I know them very well. They're a good outfit. It should be a tremendous final this afternoon, and one we all look forward to.
Good mix of Australian representation in that side. Simon Waddington, Simon Niche, of course, has been one of the form batsmen of the competition. Jared Wyeth, I think too, is another one that flies under the radar. He certainly can hit a long ball, and I reckon he bowls quicker than what people give him credit for. He gets them through when he wants to.
No doubt, no doubt. He's an all-rounder and a tremendous fielder as well.
He's very athletic, isn't he?
Very athletic.
Yep.
Yeah. And Jimmy Cornforth, he's done terrifically well. He took 5 for 20 against us. He's had a great tournament as well. They're on fire. They're unbeaten. They'll be ready to go this afternoon.
So it looks like John Short is going to be introduced now from the school end here at the Mil Jura Senior College. None for 43. EV2 Cricket winning the toss, electing to field. I've seen a little bit of that in the competition. Teams wanting to take best use out of the wicket early in the morning.
Well, for us it was, we lost the first tosses and we had to chase, and we never got to bat first in the first 2 days. And yesterday that all changed. We batted first and had our first win, and then we successfully chased down 147 yesterday, which we did 1 down with 5 overs to go on the back of Jamie Lee, who's batting right now. He's scored an unbelievable 91 not out. He's been our form player. He's just great to watch.
Just waiting for the EV2 Cricket boys to get their field set here. So this will be the last over of the first power play. As Warren's watchful and allowing that one to pass through into Hammer Stewart's gloves. Now, David, are you pushing through to Newcastle and having a crack at the Nationals?
We are, yep. So, being a New South Welshman, I've been selected in one of the 7 sides.
7?
7.
My goodness.
So it's also pretty close to home, and we'll have a great supporter base, and we know Steve Leithley very well, and he's going to put on a terrific carnival. Lovely shot there from Benny.
Yeah, Warren advances to 16. Score is none for 47.
Nice start again. Yeah, so Newcastle should be a great experience for everybody. We're close to Wannerie's there. I know that they've got a tour set up for those that haven't been to the Hunter Valley before. It's not far away, and there'll be some great nights ahead, that's for sure.
Yeah, some really great venues that you'll get to play on there too in Newcastle, so that's something to look forward to. 7 teams, I'm still coming to terms with that. That's an amazing representation. We feel that you guys, Queensland, probably Victoria, in Div 1 will be the teams to look out for.
For sure, definitely. And there's a different feel amongst New South Wales this year. There's some players that have come up through the late 40s and have now turned 50, and there'll be some fresh blood in there, and I'm sure they'll put a great side together and give it a real red-hot crack this year.
There's once again Short just angling, trying to lure Warren into a shot there outside the off stump, as we'll let Dave Newham stick around for another couple of deliveries, then we'll let him get back to the pavilion. He's due to come in at number 5. No doubt we'll get to see him in action. Or maybe we won't. Maybe these two will take it all the way home
That'd
for
be
the 20 overs. As it's again off the front foot, very confidently struck down the ground. Another boundary for Ben Warren, and he's very quickly making some ground up, isn't he, on Jamie Lee? 20 now from 14 deliveries. Lee is 28 from 20. The score is none for 52.
So we do have 8 local WA guys in the squad, and then a great representation from right around Australia, but also New Zealand, which is where Ben lives. And he's been a great player, batting and bowling. He's got all the skills, and he's a great guy to have in the sheds too, with great sense of humour.
So 2 balls remaining of this, the 6th over. The full one trying to tempt him. In fact, it's just going to pitch outside of that blue line, so the umpire calls it as wide. Just before you do go, Dave, of course, batting first, what were the boys thinking as far as a target was concerned here to set?
Oh, look, I think the pitch is fantastic, and we're going to need sort of 160. I think they're a very strong batting side on the back of Kratz. So I think
that has gone very high in the air, and the keeper will just get underneath it in the end. He's pretty much giving himself up. We'll let you go, David. Thanks for having a chat with us.
Thank you for having me.
No
Enjoy
worries.
your afternoon.
Thank you, David Newham, who's moving off to get into position. He'll be coming in at number 5. First wicket goes down for the Sandgropers, and nicely done there by John Short, making that breakthrough right at the back end of this first power play. Score is 1 for 53. Warren out caught Stewart for 20 from 15 delivery. So a very enterprising start from the Sandgropers, Peter Walsh, but an important breakthrough on the flip side for EV2 Cricket.
Very true, and look, it gives us one of many opportunities with gaps between one batsman going out and one coming in to say well done to all of the teams, not just with the players that they've made available, but the bosses of the different franchises who've come over to tell a story. And you yesterday were talking to the man with the magic fingers, those that need to be worked upon with Harry the hamstring that's a bit on the ordinary side, or a dicky groin, anything like that. But we've been able to share those comments and share the comments, of course, with someone like Dougie Walters, who was here yesterday and will be here again today, and will be here tonight for the presentation of trophies. And we do say thank you. And there's a perfect example there, Pat. And there's someone now who had to move off because he had his pads on and he was ready to bat soon. So we're still able to come up and represent the Sandgropers and do it in style.
So we wait now on Paul Wyberg, who's the new man out in the middle for the Sandgropers. He's striking down the ground and gets it out to long on. Jamie Lee at the non-strikers and had to duck for cover there. It was coming straight back at him. And that's the end of the 6th over. So score is 1 for 54. Lee is 28. Wyberg is 1. And Short has the figures of 1 for 11 from his 1 overs.
Not a bad catch too. You had to wait for a long time. The keeper, the ball just flicked up off the edge and it sailed merrily into the blue skies that are here and looking magnificent at the Mil Jura Sporting Complex here. The school away to, well, it's back towards where Deakin Avenue is, and we can have a look. And perfect conditions. And yeah, it's a weird one too, because you've got a side playing now that if they don't win, it's not going to mean all that much. I shouldn't say that. Of course they want to win every game, but the big stuff on the dance floor when you are called forward for that big dance. That's at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
I think they'd like to take some confidence, winning confidence into that game against Team Thunder, Walshy, so they'll be certainly going all out to win here as we see Ian Wood introduced from the southern end. Oh, there's some confusion here, and that's beautifully done. And Paul Wybird is going to make his way back. Fantastic display there from Ian Wood on his follow-through, who retrieved the ball. Wybird tried to put the air brakes on. He was in the attempt of trying to turn back and make his ground, but Ian Wood was just that little bit too quick for him and underarmed the stumps down from around about 10 metres away. And the double breakthrough now for EV2 Cricket. Here's the replay, Walshy.
And there's the gallop down the track, and uh-oh, I better turn, I better run, but I'm not going to get back in time. Well done, the fielding was spot on there. Woodger's the call, and Woodger was the response, and wasn't he quick? And importantly, he shied at the stumps and he was accurate.
Very measured, wasn't he? He didn't really try and let it go at any rate of knots. He just calmly and casually just made his target and did a beautiful job. So unfortunately for Paul Wybird, he needs to head back to the pavilion. I haven't really seen the best of Paul, unfortunately, so far during the Tri-Series or this T20 competition. So now we'll see Todd Zani make his way out to the middle.
Things change so dramatically. You're sitting here and we've got David Newham who's having a chat, and all of a sudden he'd better get a move on because he could be out there batting very shortly. But then 2 wickets fall so quickly in the whole game. The complexion of the game changes markedly.
So Wasp now has them back around that mid-160 mark with the fall of a couple of wickets. You feel that Jamie Lee can stay out there for any length of time. They are going to put together a pretty decent score. Beautiful day for cricket locally. Partly cloudy top, around 23 degrees. And you've got to say, Peter Walsh, after getting a full day of cricket on this particular pitch we're playing on again today, it's looking in fantastic shape, isn't it?
Looks magnificent.
Keeper looks to be set pretty far back here for Wood, who's really bending his back and the opening couple of balls of this spell. Pulling into the pitch, and Zani's backing away and able to run the ball down towards the third man boundary. They'll pick up a single.
I just wonder about the mindset of the boss, Andrew Kratzman. I saw his dad, Neville, doing a bit of a wander around, had the clobber on, the coloured clothing, being worn proudly by the 81-year-old and enjoying his time, if you don't mind. He's having a wonderful time here.
Leah's back and just playing the ball out to the offside. I was just going to say I'm not expecting to see Wood bowl too many balls in Jamie Lee's half of the wicket, because I reckon if he does, it'll disappear down the ground and over the rope.
Well, he's 28 off 21. Zani is 1 off 2. And things have slowed up since the 2 wickets have fallen.
Nice bit of work out in the deep there. Might be the Meek man. Managed to get behind that one. It was well struck by Lee. He got back and hit it with great power. Get through for 2. So he advances along to 30. Zani is 1. Score is 2 for 57. Almost 3-7 completed overs in this first session this morning here at the Mil Jura Senior College.
Peter Walsh and Pat Silcox with you and enjoying ourselves as we hope you are, as that ball edged away just wide of the keeper, who did the dive away to his right. Didn't quite get any of the glove onto it, and it skidded away and ran away before John Short could cut it off. He's got to go into where there are a few nice flowers down there, and he's got to pick it up because that one there just wide of the glove. Certainly not a chance, but away it sped, and the boundary is recorded to Lee, who moves to 34. And Wood now with that run out, nearing the completion of the over. It is the over. It's 2 for 61 after 7 with the Gropers playing against EV2. Lee is 34 and Zani is 1. We'll check that other score shortly. That's RJR playing against Team Thunder. Team Thunder in the final this afternoon to start at 2 o'clock.
So 6 overs complete behind us at the Mil Jura Senior College. RJR All-Stars are 2 for 42. So a couple of breakthroughs for Team Thunder. We've also got now scores coming in from the Lightning Storm v Australian Pavilion game. Lightning Storm won the toss, elected to bat. They are none for 12. Start of the third over. So we continue here at the Mil Jura Senior College with John Short. Just going to say, Walshy, that last delivery at the end of the previous over from Ian Wood, what a delivery it was. It was beautifully pitched. The way swinger on middle and leg is an under edge from Zani is going to get through past the keeper. I'll consider a second here as the throw comes in from Ian Wood down on the rope. So 2 more to the tally. Zani now 3 and the score 2 for 63. But yeah, it was almost unplayable because he tried to hit down the line of the ball and all he managed to do was get the edge. But with that angle away, it just that little bit too far adrift of the keeper's glove.
Yeah, not far, but still, that one's outside the off stump and through it goes to the keeper. We've got completion of this over after 3 more deliveries. Short into an over where 2 runs so far have been scored off his bowling. 2 for 63. 2 for 6-3. Lee is 34. Zani is 3. And this ball is dragged away on the onside. Hit quite crisply for 1 and for 2. No, just the 1. Just the 1. In the field, running quite spiritedly out there is Ashley Sipple, but they were just quite happy to get through for the 1. And think about, well, his leg has got to go all day today, in the morning and this afternoon. Let's just not do anything out of the ordinary. Leave Harry Hamstring back in the pavilion. We don't want any injuries whatsoever. There's an appeal for stumping. Wow. Very, very clever work there. Wow, that was good. Well, let's have a look at the replay in that because the ball just outside the off stump. Jamie Lee leaning forward. And the glove work was extraordinary from Hammer Stewart. Let's have a look at him. He's wearing number 13. Have a look at how quick he is.
Gee, I'll tell you what,
close.
I wouldn't mind watching a side-on replay of that one. Not convinced he had a lot of his foot behind the line. Check another look here. Certainly out of his ground. Was the foot still in the air when the bails come off? That was extremely close.
It was, well, it's probably an example, Pat, of how good the keeping has been right throughout this tournament. And each of the teams, of the 8 teams that have got franchise in this, I reckon they've all got bragging rights for their keepers to be up there and at them, and that was as good as you'd get. Didn't result in a wicket, but a good over too. Just 3 runs from the over, short 2 overs, and he's got 1 for 14. It's 2 for 64 after 8 with Lee on 6 and Zani on 4. Yeah, good teasing morning of cricket here at the stadium here. I'll call it the stadium because it sounds like it's a real cricket wicket, real cricket arena. You're driving through Deakin Avenue and you're getting across those streets that are hard to remember, like 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th. And then you ask Patrick for the reasons and you get nothing. You get a big fat duck egg as a response, and so I can tell anybody who's interested that I have no idea at all why the streets are named accordingly. But the man who sits beside me, who's lived here for 100 years, he's given me nothing. But that's okay. That's okay.
Ball fizzing away past the outside edge of Zani's bat. I think my answer to you the other day, Walsh, was it was just a lot easier for the town planners and surveyors just to go through a set of numbers.
Yeah, it's good to find them, though. That's the main thing. It's good to find. Haven't got lost yet.
That's always a bonus.
That's a massive bonus.
Zani is trying to drag that one away out onto the onside from outside the off stump. Wood's really got a bit of hustle about him here at the moment. He's charging in from that southern end. Looks to be bowling with good energy. He certainly has been swinging it nicely away from the right-handers.
And we should also make mention of the fact that when the over is finished, I'll go into more detail as that one is smacked away out to the boundary for another boundary. It's 2 for 68. 2 balls remaining in this over. This is the 8.4 overs been bowled so far. And it's interesting that the way that the game is settled and the way that the grand final has been sorted out for playing, all the other teams will be able to come over and watch the grand final, which will be good for business. Absolutely. This ball a slower ball, and it was well played too, just leaning forward, the ball patted away by Zani. He held that one back, well did Wood, and there's no run. So I love these names. I mean, Wood comes in and then you think of Graham Wood and you think of what he used to do, and he used to run players out all the time too, didn't he?
Yeah. That was a rare skill of his. Unfortunate for Graham.
It was, but yeah, outside the off stump and playing a miss, and the wicketkeeper was so quick. He turned around, raced back, got his helmet, and runs back down the ground, I suppose, to be aware of time. 80 minutes to play and the 20 overs to be knocked over. And the score here at the end of, let's have a look, we've gone 11 overs remaining at 2 for 68. The Sand Gropers playing EV2 Cricket. The score here at the moment with Warren and Wybird, the two men out, 1 for 54, 2 for 54. It's now 2 for 68 with Lee on 34 and Zani on 8.
So we're seeing a pretty good display of swing bowling from Ian Wood. We're getting that one to arc away from the right-hander as that one swung out towards the onside. I'll get through for another single. Matt Harris is patrolling the deep mid-wicket boundary. You feel that if Jamie Lee can get one exactly where he wants it, it's going to go well over the rope. That one's nicely bowled by Short and beautifully handled too by the keeper, Hammer Stewart.
Hammer. You heard of a name Hammer before?
I'm presuming it's maybe an abbreviation for Hamish, potentially. That's what I'm thinking, but I like Hammer.
Hammer's good.
Yeah. That one's fallen outside the off stump. Have a commentator's curse on the keeper there as he undoes some of his good work from earlier this morning. Let that one get through, so they'll push through for a bye. Score is 2 for 70 midway through the 10th over. Brings Jamie Lee back onto strike. He's 35 from 26. You can see the keeper, Stewart, just having a chat to fieldsman there at point. That one's full and is monstered down the ground for a maximum. What a hit that is. That's one of the biggest I think we've seen at this venue, Peter Walsh.
Yes, it bounced once and then slapped into the concrete, which I'm not sure hides behind a tree, but then I'm not sure what the actual room down there is, but it bounced once and then thumped into the concrete. That was a big blow, lusty blow on all six.
As I said earlier, I think anything in his half of the pitch is going to go a long way as he's opening up and hitting uppishly out to the man at deep cover, and the catch is taken. Is that Willie Moggs out there?
I reckon it's the Moggs, man.
Yep, he's been busy, hasn't he, this morning, and that's a huge breakthrough for EV2 Cricket. As Jamie Lee departs, caught Moggs bowled short for 41 from 28. And 3 wickets down there for 76 almost at the end of 10 overs here at the Mil Jura Senior College.
He looks to be so confident out there. We've seen him take a catch or two, and he just got himself into perfect position, the Moggs man, and he's taken the catch and he'd be pretty happy. And now they're going through all the thoughts and theories, a few finger points there from the skipper, Andrew Cratchman. But 3 for 76 with Zani not at 8. The new batsman is the one that we had the pleasure of chatting with. That's David Newman, who's heading out there with number 12. But that's a good breakthrough too, almost at the halfway mark at 3 for 76.
Yeah, he could have really taken the game away from EV2 Cricket, Jamie Lee. Has been one of the form batsmen of this competition so far. Now Newham will look to get himself settled. As he was explaining to me, Walshy, that he's part of the New South Wales tilt at the Nationals this year in Newcastle. 7 teams New South Wales are putting in. That's amazing, isn't it?
Where do they get their cricketers from? They must put their hands up and realise that they could then rejig their careers if they'd called it quits for a while, but they thought, no, let's get back into this. And isn't it wonderful? They have opportunities.
Newham is just forcing that one out on the offside. He'll Get it out once again to Willie Moggs. He comes in off the rope. It's the one to his tally. It's the end of 10 overs. 3 for 77. Zani is 8. Newham is 1. And Short is putting together a nice little spell here. 3 overs. 2 for 22. And when we did have Dave having a chat to us earlier this morning, I think he was suggesting they've got quite a few that are coming from the 040s ranks that have now become over 50s players. So they've been able to top up that Division 1, Division 2 team with some younger talent. So they'll be going all out to atone for last year. Queensland, of course, taking out the Division 1 title.
Yeah, it's quite amazing when what a birth certificate does for you. I spent 3 or 4 years of my early days coaching a team called CYC, Catholic Youth Club, and we had an under-12 team that used to play on the Sunday. The under-14s played on the Saturday, but there probably were about 20 kids who didn't get a game, so we decided to start a competition, and the competition started on a Sunday. And I was president of that association for 5 years and absolutely loved it. But then had to look after the kids on a Sunday, and they were just everywhere. They turned up with thongs on or rubber boots on, didn't matter. But it was all about mums and dads were there and wanted to see their kids play, and it was good fun, etc. But when it got to the business end of the season and there were a few rumours floating around about, hey, Harry Smith, I reckon he's 13. But how do we know? Well, we're going to have to get him to produce his birth certificate via his mum and dad, and that's when it got a bit messy.
I can imagine.
You took that to the next general meeting, but some very, very good players, that's just outside the off stump and through to the keeper. Players like Jeff Cunningham, who played for St Kilda, Gary Hodges, who played for St Kilda, Peter Keel, who played for St Kilda, of course St Kilda with the zoning for the Ballarat Football League, and it was just absolutely magnificent. My highlight was at the under-14s, watching them play on the Saturday and then coaching the kids on the Sunday, and they loved it. And you could swap over as many times as you like and get the kids to run around and kick the footy. That's all they wanted to do, kick the footy, and then afterwards play with their mates who were in the opposition team earlier on. It was good fun. Good fun.
3 for 78 here, the Sand Gropers being inserted by EV2 Cricket in this first session at the Mil Jura Senior College. As Wood continues from that southern end, has none for 12. He's probably bowled a little better than that, I reckon. He's beaten the bat a couple of times. Really getting that RJR Watt T20 ball to swing appreciably. With a bit of breeze behind his back. Ball is high and it's down towards third man. They're still considering another single there, but they won't this time get back for a second. Wood comes back in and nicely dealt with there by Newham as he just squirts it out onto the offside. And that will be the completion of 11 overs. Peter Walsh, I think you've got a special guest that you've teed up to have a chat to.
Yep. Gentle Ben.
Gentle Ben.
Gentle Ben's going to cruise in. And we, at the risk of being repetitive, are very, very appreciative of the talent that is available. One of the talented men sits beside me who wears number 4. Ben Warren, who joins us now as a member of the team at the moment that are a competitive 3 for 80. Ben, how are you going?
Good, thanks, Walshy. Very good. It's a beautiful day out here and not a better place to be, I think.
And we're watching a team continue, and I reckon you'd want this tournament to go for another week or two because the form has been discovered.
That's right. We had a very long team meeting the night before last and discussed it over many a nice beverage, and we discovered our form the following morning. And now we hit our straps, but unfortunately we're a few games too late.
So we're going to dig deep into that too during your stint behind the microphone, which we do appreciate. I would suggest there wouldn't be any finger pointing. It would be a matter of, right, you're a group now, you've started poorly, let's turn it around. Was anything specific mentioned that you weren't getting right?
Well, not really. We started out strongly. I mean, we only just lost our first 2 or 3 games, and it was just a matter of finishing the games. And I can probably speak for myself because I was there at the end of both of them, and we were just 10 or 12 runs short, and just a little bit unfortunate not to get it away to the boundary. We'd sort of lost our bigger hitters earlier on. And I mean, a bit of a handicap for us is the unfortunate injury to Fuzz, Anthony Barranca. Dropping a branch on your hand a couple of days before the tournament does have a little bit of effect, and he would be our number one batsman in the lineup, and everyone knows what Fuzz can bat like. We sort of had to adapt, and quite a few guys. We had a pre-tournament net, and I mean I was actually very astonished at the amount of talent that was actually sitting there looking at it. It looked very good, and we just struggled a bit. I mean, unfortunately we didn't win the toss in any of the games to bat first, so we were always chasing. And on those early wickets, they were a little bit up and down, and I'm not saying it's both for the same for the both sides, but we were just short of the mark a little bit. So a little bit off form, and then we sat down and we fiddled with the order a little bit. The running between the wickets has improved, and and the guys have stuck their head down and they pulled out a couple. And then once you get a win under your belt, I think the confidence, like any team, increases, and we've started to pull it out a lot better. So we're looking good. We're hoping we can get a win here today against EV2s are going to be one of the finalists, and our theory is if we can knock them over and they win the final, we've come back pretty good, and we can walk away with our heads held pretty high. So.
Yeah, it's like in a harness race where you've gone to the bell, 1 lap to go, and you've made your move from the back of the field. You've swept around, and on the top of the straight where you're running down to the finish line, that's where you're doing your best work.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And it's always nice to come in and finish in the last stretch and win it, isn't it?
Yep. So what sort of a buzz was it for you when, Ben, you're involved? When then the draft's sorted, that you're going to be seeing people, and I'm not sure how many you knew when you were aware of the fact that you're in a squad, but talk us through the excitement of, right, a phone call comes through, or you get a Zoom meeting up and running, and then that you're bound for Mil Jura.
Yeah. Well, right from the start, the whole concept captured my interest. We play a fair bit of T20 and grade cricket back home, and being one of the elder boys and the elder gents in the team, it's not often that guys at our age get to play T20. It's considered a younger man's game a lot of the time, and so when this was put together, it opened up my eyes, because I'm still consider myself a little bit of a lightweight running chicken that can get round the field pretty quick, and it suits me.
Yeah, so, if you stepped on the scales, I reckon now, this is a guess, I'd be saying 85?
No, 77.
77?
Yes, that's right.
I didn't ask for your favourite year, I asked for your weight. So you're only 77 kilos?
Yeah, I've dropped about 4 or 5 kilos with the last 10 weeks of work at home. I had to do a very heavy stint of agricultural contract work, and that was my training before I came over, because it was too wet to do anything else. But so I'm very light and quick at the moment, which is probably about the lightest I've been since I was in my early 20s,
right, or
even younger than that. So but the draft was, it sparked a lot of interest, and for the guys in New Zealand who knew about it, they were pretty quick to sign up. And because when you look at the names, and when they said they were selecting guys from all around Australia, it's like coming over here for us that were lucky enough to come to the Nationals. You get to play against your Australian cousins on Australian soil, and I don't think you'd find many people in New Zealand saying that one of the biggest thrills is to come to Australia and play in your conditions, because Australia's one of the best teams in the world and best countries of cricket.
And your step to where? Where's this taking you now with this competition to finish up for you today? But what's next? I'm sure you've got an itinerary mapped out in your own mind.
Another 3 or 4 weeks we're back up to Newcastle with the New Zealand A side.
Yep.
There's 3 or 4 players here. John Gowrie, Goldie, that are actually here playing. Ben Homan is also here. Was here for the Tri-Series. So we're all back here and back up to Newcastle in 4 weeks to play for New Zealand A in the Nationals. We've got a good strong side this year. I think Richard Petrie and the New Zealand captain Ardal Samani are also on the side, so we're hoping to give it a good crack. So that's then. I think I've mentioned before, Walshy, that's originally actually where I'm from. I'm from the Hunter Valley. I was born in Dungog, where Dougie's from, and I've really enjoyed catching up with Dougie. He's my mum's cousin and went to school with mum. And he remembers her well, so we had some good chats while we're sitting and watching the game. And, you know, to have that great man sitting there watching you play cricket, even at the age of 50, it's a thrill.
It is.
So,
now,
yeah.
well, whilst we're talking, a wicket has fallen. It's now 4 for 93 with Adami picking up a scalp. 4 for 93. Coming to the crease wearing number 9 is Johnny Crognali. Is that pronunciation okay?
Yes, that's good. Johnny's had a good tournament too. He's a good left-arm spinner. And he got runs the other day, and he's improved with each game that's going on. So, yeah, when Todd's sort of held the middle together. And, the guys, it's unfortunate we're getting better with every game, but we're running out of games.
Well, you're playing a side that's playing in the final, so I'm not saying that that's going to be the satisfaction, but it's going to be the satisfaction. That's what you'll finish on.
Well, that's right. I think this is probably one of the better starts we've had. And we're only just about finished the 13th over. We were 93. We should be hitting a high 170 here if we're on target, and we haven't hit that mark much in any of the games. We defended 113 yesterday in the first game, which was a very big effort. And then we cleaned up the Saxons in the game in the afternoon on the Artie, unfortunately, we played on, so that was good. And that was against Steve Mace. Yeah. And Macey was hitting the ball as hard as he normally does, but we got home there comfortably with 3 overs to spare. So it's been a big improvement.
A big result, all right. To Ben Warren, our special guest. Plenty of those too. He's from the Sand Gropers and the EV2 Cricket team. That's who they're battling against as we speak. And it's 4 for 94 at the end of 13. Now, tell us about your own form and how you felt that you have responded to the responsibilities that you take on with your resplendent orange tops.
Coming into a new team, it's always a challenge, obviously, to figure out what your role is and where you fit in. And basically, having a net with the boys and seeing that there's a wide range of skill sets. I mean, we've got a good plethora of spinners and all-rounders and that sort of thing. You just teach when you cricket. 1 or 2 players can win a game. They can change it if they're on form. So you go out there and you just give it your best. If it comes off on the day it comes off, don't hang your head and just if it doesn't go right, you just get up and try again. And that's, I teach the kids that, not everything's going to go right in cricket. 90% of the time you're probably going to fail and 10% you're going to succeed. But if you don't keep on trying, you ain't going to get any better. So, and that's, there you go out there, focus, concentrate, get on with the game. You usually know why you don't, you usually know why you go well or you fail. And it's not something that's too hard to fix. But with T20, it's a good, short, sharp game. You got to be switched on, and it's a challenge at our age because it is faster. But it's the standard of cricket here is as good as any at the national level that I've played at. Right. And there's a lot of players that have come into this that don't play at the nationals who are astonishingly good cricketers. They should be at the nationals. It's a shame they can't get there. But obviously commitments, but there are some very good cricketers here, and it's nice to play against guys from all over Australia. It's it endears the spirit of cricket. You're here to play cricket and have a good time with your mates and enjoy it, and that's the reason I'm here. So yeah.
Is that the absolute pinnacle when you talk about the nationals, where you're working towards a team where you represent your country and you say that's what I've got to aim for? Is that where you get driven?
I know for some players it's the drive. They want to represent their country at this age group, and it's important to them. And yes, I think for a lot of us, it's a great honour to represent your country. You got to be realistic too. You should be good. You got to be good enough to be there, and to earn your cap. I think it's a wonderful thing. I haven't got there yet. I've only ever played at the A level, so I can't speak from the experience. But from the guys you talk to, it means a hell of a lot to them. I hope that I'll get the chance in the future maybe to go to a World Cup and represent New Zealand. But I personally love playing with these guys who have been quality cricketers all their lives, and I still learn stuff off them. And they set the example. And if I can be in the same team with them and compete with them, compete against them, I'm a very happy man. So
what do you learn? Tell me, what would you be thinking about when you'd finished a game like today we've had a bat earlier on, look the goods, and you sit down over a cold one to watch the final this afternoon, and someone walk past and say, "Get on your Ben, good to see you out there today." What would you have learned today?
Every little innings you play, you learn. The shot I got out to, just a little bit more patience, leave my head down a bit more, and she probably would have gone a totally different direction and over the boundary. Just taking that extra second of concentration, knowing when to switch off and switch on, watching the guys that natural players and how they play a certain shot or a ball or how they approach approach a pressure situation. You pick up on these things. I mean, unfortunately, if we knew all these things when we were younger, we'd have some great cricket sides. But and that's the thing. If you're playing a sport and you're still learning and you're improving at it, and it keeps you in it. And that's what it is for me. I mean, it's a game of chess out there. There's a lot that goes on that people don't see. People think cricket's boring, and you sit down there and you're not missing anything. It's like watching paint dry. Well, I'm out there, and I think there's always something going on. If you want to be involved, you play the game, watch it, and see what you can contribute to it. But there's some sensational cricketers here. Guys that have had incredible careers, and they're still playing. They're playing for their mental health, playing to be with their mates, and that's the thing. You're having a break from your normal routine of life, and this gives you a lift. It's like apart from the pain and the sore joints, it's like a holiday, Walshy. Yeah, and I mean, I'd come back every year as long as I'm able to walk out there and run around.
Yeah.
So.
You've touched on a sensitive note too, and that is the business of you're trying to talk to others if they feel the need to ask questions, to become friends with you. Oftentimes you haven't met them before, and it's difficult to break into a conversation. But are you finding that we're pushing really hard the spirit of cricket, and we need for people to communicate if they've got a couple of issues they want to deal with? Is it easy to be able to front someone that you don't know too much about and sit down and have a coffee or have a beer or just have a walk and a talk?
Yeah, I believe it is. It's you've got a large group of men here. They'll sit down and have a beer with them after game. I suppose my wife describes me as a bit of a gregarious personality.
That's a good description.
I'll go up and talk to anyone, and I always think that everyone's got something to offer. They've got some life experience that you could probably learn from. And it's great to meet new people. You don't know when you're going to see them again. You don't know when you can help them. I mean, and those situations arise, and we had one yesterday, as we all know about. And sometimes you just got to be there for a mate.
Yep.
So.
No, very true. And look, we don't conceal the fact that our thoughts are with Nick Callanan, who unfortunately lost a very close friend, a son. There can't be anything closer than someone in the family, and unfortunately we lost Alex. And we send our best wishes, of course, to Nick and the family for what they're going through. And in no way can we understand or we come to terms with such a horror. It's a tragedy, and that's the word that I don't use unless what has happened yesterday was the result of that tragedy. And so to Nick and to all and sundry. And I should mention also, with you coming up and being kind enough to share some thoughts, Ben, the two teams got together and they observed a minute's silence before the game started today, which was needed, and a lot of respect was shown.
No, that's right. I mean, the boys are out there playing for Nick today, and I'm sure that we did it yesterday, but it's right at the forefront of our minds, and he wanted us to keep on playing, and we're doing that to honour his wishes. And Nick, I'll just say a couple of things about Nick. He's for a guy that I've known only for 3 or 4 days, he's one of the most positive guys that I've met as a roommate and as a fellow player. He's got nothing negative to say about anyone. Even when he's not going well himself, he's positive about it. He's a bloody good bugger, and I hope I've made a mate for life there because, Yeah,
I think you've summed it up beautifully, and thank you for sharing that. Just the one final question is we've got in the 15.2 overs have been bowled, 4 for 111, Mazzani on 23 and Cognali on 10. Someone whispered to me that they played a 10-over game recently. A T10, not a T20, a T10. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm not sure, Ben, whether or not we can squeeze out any more discussions about changing the game. We don't want 10 overs.
No.
We want at least 20, don't we?
You've got to make, 10 overs is a little bit hit and miss, isn't it? It's a little bit like six-a-side cricket we used to play, where you played 5 overs and each bowler bowled an over, and you played that. And years ago in New Zealand, we played that at a first grade level in Auckland. We had the Auckland six-a-side champs, which Adrian Dale, who you know, used to captain New Zealand and has recently retired. We captained those sort of competitions, and they were, they're very good for young cricketers. But at this age level, I think, the T20 would probably be the limit, lowest number of overs you'd want to go. I still believe in the one-day game is very good for us. It's a good length, and that's what the Nationals are around. I mean, it's, you watched the game last night. T20, my personal view on T20s is especially at national and international level, you ask who won last week, you don't know, you forget. But if you ask me who you won the one day or the last Test match, I'll know that for the next 10 years.
That's a very good point that you make. I've asked all of those that have been kind enough to come up and share some time in the last week and a half with the Tri-Series, and now, of course, with this wonderful franchise explosion here in Mil Jura, and nobody has said anything other than we love Test cricket, and Doug Walter said that too with some strength and authority. And for anybody who doesn't know Doug Walters, and if you ever get the chance to have a listen to what his thoughts are on all sorts of the walks of life, well, you won't be disappointed. We're getting now towards the end of the 20th over, 16 down, 4 for 115. Ben Warren, thank you so much for coming up and being so forthright and so honest and open and sharing with information. We say good luck to you and your team for the rest of the tournament, which will finish at the end of this game, but I'm sure we'll see you about the troops. And we say thank you very much for calling up and saying hi.
Thanks, Walshy. Thanks for having me, and good luck for the rest of the tournament. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, my friend. That's Ben Warren who leaves, and I shake his hand, and I shake with warmth because that's what I get back in return. Now the rolling donut has moved back into position to continue on. And Pat, look, this is just so unfair, but who cares? Who cares? I'm tired now and so are you. So just answer. When I call you a rolling donut, just say, yeah, I'll go with that one and you'll move on, won't you?
Well, apparently. Nice to be back, Walshy.
Yeah, nice guy, that guy, wasn't he, Ben?
Benny Warren, yeah.
Yep. It's 4 for 115 after 16 with Crognali on 12 and Zani on 9. And you might be able to give us a quick splash through the scoreboard at some stage if you don't mind, because I've been trying to have a chat and write out bits and pieces and here and there, and you look at the scores, etc., and you think to yourself, that's not a bad score, 4 for 116 with 3.4 overs to go.
Not too bad. Look, I think they would have really fancied themselves to come up around that 160, 170 mark based on the start they had in the first half a dozen overs, but since the wicket of lead, they just haven't really got anything going. There's been a few dismissals too, which has just stopped the momentum. EV2 Cricket boys are working hard in the field there as we see that. Fantastic dive and save there by Mark Kratzmann, who's into the attack at the moment. Saw only 4 or 5 minutes ago, Andrew, who's out on the boundary and just totally lost the ball path coming through, and he just watched it sail over the rope to about 10 metres to his left-hand shoulder, which was rather unfortunate. So that one goes out into the deep. Pick up another signal. So Crognale is 13, Zani is 25. We're almost through 17 completed overs. 4 for 118 is the score. This is the final preliminary round before we get to the grand final at this venue, 2 this afternoon. So Crognale is hitting that one beautifully out and over the square leg rope for 6. We've got a little bit of downtime, Pete. Let's see what I can find out for you here. So I'll just give that a bit of a refresh.
That, for those of you who've just joined us, that is the verbals of a guru when it comes to technical analysis of what's happening, and it's called Give Me a Refresh. I like that. That's impressive.
Thank you. At the back behind us here, Mil Jura Senior College number 2, RJR All-Stars, 5 for 87. That's after 14 overs. We saw Gerard Wyeth, who was just hovering around here having a bit of a look. Maybe he's having a rest ahead of the final. He looked in good spirits. Lightning Storm, a 3 for 83. They've almost gotten through their first 10 overs of 20 to face. Lightning Storm winning the toss and electing to bat there. So we wait on Mark Kratzmann once again. Bowling that one that's got plenty of air. It's edged high into the sky and has been taken by the man who was fielding there on the ring at the 45 on the offside, or call it short third man. And it's a nice catch taken there by Ian Wood, who bowled a great spell earlier from the southern end. And Crognale has to depart now with his score on 19. Caught Wood bowled Mark Kratzmann as we watch the wicket in replay. Did it pretty comfortably, the big man, as he was coming in. Thought initially maybe Hammer Stewart, the keeper, was going to go, but got called out at the last moment. But Kratzmann really giving that ball some air, and the batsman unable to really capitalise and hit down the ground. Now, the other game, which looks like it might have started a little bit later than the remainders, maybe it started at 11, and that's Spot On Strikers and Saxon Kings, and they're almost through 2 overs in that game, and Spot On Strikers no wicket for 8.
Thank you, Pat, for the dulcet tones being delivered to our viewers and those that are listening out to our coverage. Hope you're enjoying it. We're having a good time. Be sad I might burst into tears when we say goodbye tonight. Well, are you an emotional person, are you?
Well,
Not really?
It's going to leave a void, isn't it? I mean, we've been enjoying just sitting here watching the cricket for the last almost 2 weeks. Have to go back and do the real job tomorrow, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle that. But anyway.
You'll cope.
Oh, I'm sure
You'll
I
be
will.
strong and you'll fight through adversity, won't you?
Yes, I will.
You will.
Thanks very much.
Go out and buy a donut and keep going. At all times, you must
Keep
work
rolling.
through adversity.
Keep rolling, Peter, as they say.
Yes, you do. 5 for 125. What'll I get from here?
Well, Wasp says 152. That's going to be good going. Steve Gollan's made his way out into the middle. And unable to get that one around the corner and pick up some runs on the onside. I would have thought high 140s is probably going to pull them up here. And for EV2 Cricket, wickets, of course, are the key if they can keep getting those breakthroughs. This time Gollan is getting the ball out to Mark Kratzmann, who's fielding at mid-wicket. Just the one to the tally. So Gollan is 1, Zani is 26. Score is 5 for 126.
I saw the Kratzmobile drifting by earlier on today too, Neville. He was looking extremely impressive in his outfit. I wondered when he was a teenager whether he'd ever think when he's 81 that he'd be wearing such loud colours in Mil Jura and watching his 2 boys playing cricket. How good's that?
It's great, and I'm not certain that would have crossed his mind back in the day, but he's certainly having a real time out of it here as part of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale, which of course is into its final day today as part of this T20 competition, and that is the end of 18 overs here at the Mil Jura Senior College. Gropers 5 for 127, Zani 27, Gollan is 1, and Moggs has bowled 3 overs. The figures of none for 16.
Of course, this afternoon at 2 o'clock, we have the final. I know that this is grabbing hold of a comment or a phrase that is being used in all sorts of sporting connotations now, and that is, you've got to get to the dance floor. I just can't work that one out because to me, there's no dance floor at a cricket venue. You've got to get to the wicket.
Yep.
And you've got to take a ball and you've got to take a bat and you've got to take some prowess at playing the game you love. There's no dance floor out there. You dance around to miss a ball that Meek might send to you or someone might bowl to you that's short and wide or what. And we're seeing lots of talent on display there. And that'll be really good this afternoon because all of the teams, Pat, will wear their colours. And I've got the Spirit of Cricket top on that I wear with pride. And your outfit is probably as boring as I've ever seen anyone wear it.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Walshy. Nice grey mail number as it clears the rope down the ground as Dylan Fernandez was just trying to put his hands up high in the sky to see if he couldn't have brought it down. So that's a nice result for the Sandgropers as they look to continue to build here at the back end of this third power play. Gollan is 7, Zani is 28, 5 for 134.
And Pat, if I knew who the cameraman was down there on that structure, well, I'd send him a cheerio, but I don't know, so I can't. But to all of those who've been working diligently at their trade, well done. You've kept us informed, poked your camera in the direction of what's happening out there, and we haven't missed anything, so it's been really good. It's all about team, isn't it?
It is. We've had some great pictures from the Be Live crew. As Kratzmann's forcing that one outside the off stump. All taken away. A nice bit of work from the Sandgropers to continue to tick the score over. So Gollan back on strike again. They look to go downtown once again here. It's over from Kratzmann so far. He's gone for 9. It's full and Gollan is elevating and finding some space out there at deep mid off. So another boundary. He advances to 12. Zani is 29. Score is 5 for 140. So now they may be looking in excess of 150 with this over for Mark Kratzmann becoming very profitable, Walshy.
Yes, 1 for 22 coming up to the end of his second over. 7, 8, 9, 13 coming from this over. And Golan, who's on 12, waits for the last. He's down and he hits hard and high away on the onside. I'll try and pick it up out there. It's gone behind a tree, but now the ball's bounced back quite quickly. Kratzmann completes the over. A busy over for the batters out there. Let's have a look. 8, 9, 10, 14 off the over. Kratzmann's picked a couple up. And the score is 5 for 141 with 1 over remaining. And then we think about what's Mr. Kratzmann's special K number 1. That's Andrew. What's he going to do with his batting order? Is he going to stay as is, or does he need to go out and have another bat, or is he going to say, no, I'll just rest up. I'll be ready for the big guns, the heavy hitters at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Peter. Well, I guess we'll find out in about half an hour's time. We have seen that Mark Kratzmann has been opening up in a few of the games, trying to get in early while the fielding restrictions are in play. So only a couple of men outside the rope, 30-yard circle, as we can see a bit of work being done here. We had a change of keeper.
We have.
Wow. For this, the final over, that's something quite unique, as it looks like it's going to be Hammer Stewart who's going to bowl the last in the 20th over of the game.
It's extraordinary, and that looks like Andrew Kratzmann
It
is
is.
out there without... Has he got pads on?
Must have shin guards on it, you'd
Would
hope.
you think so? The last thing you want is the possibility of an injury. I would suggest that that's not going to work, and we're going to see probably the tallest wicketkeeper of this tournament for the last over. First ball is over the top of the keeper, and it will go bouncing back, or did it land just before a fieldsman back down there to our right? It was hard to pick up where I am, but it was away from where Andrew Kratzmann was, and I threw for 1, 5 for 142. With Zani now on strike with 5 balls remaining. And this ball he clips down the ground and hits very well. It'll roll along the turf. They're coming back for the second, and they make it. Good running.
Very good running by the Sand Gropers. And Zani advances now to 31. Golan is 14. So 5 for 144. As this one is decently bowled by Stewart. And Andrew Kratzmann just tidies up around behind Zani. He was unable to deal with it.
I reckon you'll get a stumping.
He's in the game, I think, isn't he? There's no doubt about it. So let's head out to the man here on the mid-wicket rope, which is John Short. So 2 balls to go. Can they get past that 150 mark as Golan advances, tries to find the gap down the ground. Only pick up a single, so this has been a pretty decent over from the wicketkeeper, Stewart. Obviously knew something that we didn't going into this 20th and final over of the first session. This ball's high into the air. It's going to pitch, I reckon, in the middle of 3 EV2 cricket players out there on the onside. They all stood back and had a look at it. As, that is the end of 20 overs. And Sand Gropers will finish at 5 for 147. Zani on 33, Golan on 15. So not a bad little rearguard action there at the end from the Gropers. And that will mean, Peter Walsh, that EV2 Cricket will need 148 runs to win.
Go the Grope. That's what we want. That's when we need those supporters to cheer them off, because that's the end of their tournament, when they, of course, hope to be able to knock over the highly credentialed and well-fancied EV2 Cricket team, who will go into the final this afternoon at 2 o'clock with Team Thunder, their combatants. And, of course, we'll have interviews with the 2 captains before the game and after the toss. I think Malcolm Blight stealing my thunder by saying immature toss bags. He'd actually made that comment at a press conference, and that's pretty good. You've got to come up with something original, don't you?
Always kept you guessing, Blighty, didn't he? Never know what he was going to do or say.
Very true. Well, that's the end of what we see is a pretty fair slash at 20 overs, 5 for 147. Perhaps Patrick should do it brilliantly. Just the major scorers in that particular game, because we can have a short break now and grab hold of a banana and slurp on some water. But the situation is simple. The fact of the matter is that we've got a protection of runs now by the Sand Gropers, who went into bat first.
So Jamie Lee led the way with his 41 from 28 at the top of the list. Todd Zani again consistently through the middle order. 33 not from 40. And then down towards the end there, Crognall 19 and Gollum finished 15 from 10 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 maximum. So 5 for 147 in their 20 overs. Best with the ball. And that went to Short. He picked up 2 for 22 from his 3 overs. Also wickets for Adami and Mark Kratzman. So 5 for 147. And we will be back shortly for the second innings.
Just before we go, could you just hit me with your rhythm stick? Because the number of players that bowled an over, I think, is extraordinary. The abilities for the skipper to say, right, this is the last time that we can actually see you before the final. How many did he try?
I think we've got 9 on the list there, Peter.
9?
9 bowlers.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is, including the wicketkeeper, which I don't think I've ever seen before on a T20 game, where he disrobed after the end of 19 and passed his gloves and shin pads over to Andrew Kratzman, and he bowled a pretty decent 20th over, 2 1 over, no maiden, none for 6, Hammer Stewart. So,
can you hear the drums, Fernandez? He's done pretty well too, or has he not? No, he hasn't picked up the wickets.
2 overs, none for 17. So wickets for Short, 2 for 22. Adami 1 for 12. And Mark Kratzman, 2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 23. So 148 required for victory for EV2 Cricket. And we'll be back in around about 10 or 15 minutes for our second session this morning here at the Mil Jura Senior College.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura, and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Moulding still offer our trusted rainwater tanks, along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks, where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura, and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Mouldings still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever, perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Mouldings still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever, perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Mouldings still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks, where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever, perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Mouldings still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks, where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever, perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Mouldings still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks, where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura, and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Saratour 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Saratour 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Moulding still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura, and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Saratour 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Saratour 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Moulding still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
And we're back at the Mil Jura Senior College for the second session of our final preliminary round of this Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale T20 competition. It is the Sand Gropers taking on EV2 Cricket. EV2 Cricket won the toss, elected to field. Sand Gropers managed 5 for 147 in their 20 overs, courtesy of Jamie Lee's 41, Todd Zani 33. John Short was the best of the EV2 attack, taking 2 for 22. So it's going to be Grant Nelson and Ashley Sipple opening up for EV2 Cricket. Stephen Gollan to take up the new ball for the Sand Gropers. Pat Silcock sitting alongside of Peter Walsh here at the Mil Jura Senior College.
And if I look to my right as the first ball is bowled, You see cricket next to cricket. Neville Kratzman speaking to Damien Meek. Neville, of course, the father of Mark and Andrew, and Meekie, the speedster for the side that will go into this afternoon's final. And there, wonder what they'd be talking about. There'd be a fair chance they might be talking about cricket, do you think, Pat?
Oh, I think there'd be a really good chance that they'd be talking about cricket.
Yes, it's just amazing. It brings people together. Ian Chappell celebrating a birthday recently. I was advised last night, so I sent him a cheerio. And a wonderful cricketer, Ian Chappell, and just a gregarious person. Loved the chats that we used to have. We used to bring a crayfish from Robe when there was a test match played at the Adelaide Oval. And the Channel 9 commentary team used to get some cray fishermen's wares. And oftentimes it was where you could dip into a crayfish dip with a little biscuit and gnaw on that. And, you know, people like Tony Greig when he was about the place. And yeah, Ian Healy, of course, telling stories and having some crayfish. And yeah, it was good fun. Good fun. So happy birthday to Ian Chappell.
How old would Chappelli be now, Walshy?
Well, Dougie is in his late 70s, so Chappelli, I'll check that one out for you. We'd have to be, I'd reckon, in his late 70s, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I would have thought so. As Gollon has really hustled through this opening over. Only one run from it. Nelson is one, Sipple yet to score, so none for one. EV2 Cricket, who need a further 147 to win from 19 overs at 7.74 per over. As Walshy looks up some stats for Ian Chappell, we might see if we can have a look around at the other venues. See the progress around the traps. Now, Spot On Strikers and Saxon Kings got underway quite a deal later than the other games, so they're only still through their first session. 8.2 overs. Spot On Strikers are 4 for 42. RJR All-Stars made 9 for 141 in their allotted 20 overs, so Team Thunder require 142 to win from 20 overs at 7.1 per over. And Lightning Storm have 2 overs remaining of their 20. They are 5 for 156 off 18.
And the big news regarding Ian Chappell is can't open page. Do you like that when that hits you when you open up your iPad? You do?
It does happen from time to time.
It does happen too often, but still, I mean, when we think about it, we're so lucky to have access to information, and if we get information, we'll pass it on to you, rest assured, and I'll do my best to see if I can find an open page for Ian Chappell, and you found one.
Saying there that he was born the 26th of September 1943, so if our maths is any good, Washy, that would make him 81.
81 for Ian Chappell. Of course, had his issues, unfortunately. He's okay, but had the issues with the sunspots and that, and of course, each time he went out to bat, he had a couple of top buttons open and the shirt open, and what a player and what a performer behind the microphone too, Mr. Entertainment. Really good man too. Happy birthday, Ian.
Brimhall's into the attack now from the southern end. As he's bowling a wide with his third delivery. Scorers ticked along to none for 6. Wasp has them at 74% as far as their winning chances are here. So it's friendly as the ball's lofted and hit out towards the cover rope. And I reckon that's going to get there. Nicely timed by Nelson. Another boundary in this over. So EV2 Cricket looking to push the go button early and get ahead of the game.
And let's just reflect on the score of 5 for 147. Some steady batting. We had, of course, Lee got 41. He was pretty impressive. And 33 not out to Zani. But for me, the stat of all was 9 bowlers used.
Yes.
I was having a chat to a few of the lads. Is there as a possible catch at slip put down? I think maybe. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, definitely it was an edge. I think the man at slip was almost falling back as the ball was coming at him, which meant that he was moving away from the path of the ball as it was coming to him. This one is nicely bowled by Broomhall, straightening up outside the off stump. As Nelson looked to try and work it away on the onside. So pace off seems to be the modus operandi from the Sandgropers at the start of this second session here at the Mil Jura Senior College. As Nelson's hitting out towards the man there, the cover boundary. And that will see us through 2 completed overs. Score is none for 11. Nelson is 10 from 8. Sipple is yet to score. Target is 148. And Broomall's bowled 1 over and has none for 10.
We can just watch as the players get themselves organised. I see Mark Kratzman to our left. Just seeing if he's got the pads on. I can't see from here.
No, but I think he might have his thigh pad in. So he's obviously going to be batting in that top order, you'd expect, for EV2 Cricket.
Yeah, I see Damien Meek's got his pads on too.
We had them on for a long time the other day, didn't he, as well? And then I think only went out there for 2 balls and came straight back, unfortunately.
There'd be a few that would be, well, be saying to the boss, look, just give me a chance to get out there and have a good look before this afternoon. Of course, this afternoon being only 15 minutes away as before we head into the afternoon session. 2 o'clock start, so big final, and we'll have a good crowd here too. That there is no doubt. It's none for 11 as this ball is patted away on the offside. Nelson and Sipple are out there at the moment. Nelson on 10, Sipple hasn't scored off 4 deliveries. Gollan is the bowler into his second over, has none for 1. 147, yeah, that's reasonable. Nothing out of the ordinary, but reasonable. Oh, there's a nudge behind point on the offside. The wicketkeeper getting around very well indeed and stopping the ball from running there. And I thought for a moment, as Nelson looked a little bit out of sorts to injure himself, but he's okay. And the next ball he just hits straight back down the ground, hits it very well indeed. That's going to roll and roll and roll into the ropes for 4. So good shot, good strong return there with being beaten by the last delivery. He hit that one all right, none for 15. Nelson on 14, and Sipple is still yet to score. Good shot.
He's been pretty measured in his approach, hasn't he, Grant Nelson? He's looked to take it on when it's bowled with good length that he can get underneath. Otherwise, he's pretty watchful and he's back in the crease and defending well. So this has been a pretty decent start from EV2 Cricket. Currently striking at 5.63. The rate required is 7.67 as Nelson's hitting out into a similar spot here on the onside. So Broomhall will get there and cut that one off, so just the single. And it's Simon Milton doing the wicket-keeping duties for the Sand Gropers. Simon was in on the scorebook in the first session, so he's been busy.
You always find something to do if you're here.
Nicely bowled by Gollan as that one fizzes past the outside edge of Sipple's bat. So that's the end of 3 overs, none for 16. Nelson is 15, Sipple yet to score, and Gollan very tidy. 2 overs, none for 6.
Of course, this afternoon, in just over 2 hours' time, the grand final taking place. The two sides that, I won't say have dominated the competition, but they've been up and about and always near the top of the table. And those two teams are Team Thunder and EV2 Cricket, who are out there at the moment, having their last warm-up. And I suppose they'll be focusing, of course, on what's happening now. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, only 2 hours to go, and we've got to get out here again, and away we go. And how about that for a cluster with the Orange Brigade, the Fruit Factory, all around? But not now. They were.
Yeah.
They were spread not too far around, but now the wicketkeeper has only got the batsman to talk to because the bowlers have been spread a little bit more than was first anticipated. So that's the way it's going to work.
So Nelson is swinging down the ground and it's heading out towards the long on rope and it will pass over for a boundary. So a very aggressive start from Nelson. So he moves his score now to 19 and the score is none for 20 at the start of this 4th over. Just back to your analysis of the EV2 Cricket approach. Walshy, of course, they've left Mark Little and Glenn McFadden out of this game. Intrigued to see whether those two boys will be back in tow for the grand final. Mark Little, of course, we saw a lot of during the Tri-Series. So it is to be the left-hander now, Sipple. He's just been very cautious down the non-strikers and watching all the action coming from the bat of his teammate Grant Nelson. That one's wide and Goes away further from the left-hander. The umpire says that's okay. It's a good movement, isn't he? Broomhall away from the left-hander. Pulls out in the deep. So none for 22. Nelson is 20. Sipple is 1. We'll check in on those other scores from around the ground shortly. This final round of preliminaries. This time the in-swing from Broomhall to the right-hand batsman as it's knocked down to the offside for another single.
They're in no hurry, are they?
Not at all. Taking a bit of pace off here at the start. Of course, we did see Robert Nichols here on Saturday impress us, Walshy, with his left arm medium pace over the wicket. Nelson's hitting out again towards the boundary at backward square, and it's going to go all the way once again. Would have been David Newham there, was it? He tried to get over the top of that one, was unable to protect the 4 being scored. So at the end of 4 overs, none for 27, Nelson 21, Sipple is 5. And this partnership already 27 in 24 balls from 25 minutes at the crease.
And I'm reckoning that Andrew Kratzmann's got the pads on too. He just stands up and helps me out. And you thumbed to him, he didn't respond, so he's gone around to change the scoreboard. I think they're taking their turns and doing it very well, by the way, too, because people that are here, not everyone is aware of the scores as we are, and we're sitting in the best spot. But Kratzmann now making the different judgments and making the different changes. How good are these players? They're multi-skilling, aren't they?
Yeah, they absolutely are. As we can tell you that spot-on strikers are 4 for 65 after 10.4 overs. Later start for that game. They take on Saxon Kings. Yeah, an early wicket for RJR All-Stars over the back at Mil Jura Senior College number 2. Team Thunder 1 for 1 in the first over, chasing a target of 142 for victory. And Lightning Storm, another good score from them, 7 for 175 at the end of 20 after winning the toss and batting first.
So getting all the scores, and you've got every indication as to what's likely to happen. If you're listening in and you're in the viewing or listening area here at Mil Jura, we of course are at the, well, I've got to get this right.
Mil Jura Senior College, Walshy?
Senior College.
Senior College, yeah.
That's good. That's good. And of course, if you're close handy, come and see this game this afternoon. You'll see the 2 best teams in this competition. And importantly, this is the first of at least another couple of years to follow, because the contract has been locked in, and which is good. And I reckon the search will be on. We had, of course, an Australian team and an Australian A team, plus the New Zealand team in the Tri-Series. And I think what we might get is we might have more countries involved next year, which would be really good.
Craig Kelly's into operation now from the school end. And a fairly tidy start so far to his first over. Bowling to Sipple. Again, Sipple fancies his chances down the ground and unable to make connection. Now, we did need to make the point that the other day we did mention that Craig Kelly's in our guesstimation bowled off the wrong foot, but Craig has been very clear to point out to us that no, he doesn't actually. He gets very close to that point, but he's had some video shot of him and in slow motion.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yep.
So that one's muscled away there on the onside by Sipple. He picks up the boundary. So he goes to 9 now. Score is none for 32, almost through 5 overs.
Andrew Kratzmann is listed as the next batsman to come in. He scored plentifully. He's done very well at all with calls to the crease. And he'll be keen after a stumble at the start when they lost their first game, and we saw that. But what they've done is they've bounced back well and finished up in second spot on the table.
He's had a good couple of weeks in Mil Jura, Andrew Kratzmann. Scored some good runs through the Tri-Series. Has been integral to this EV2 cricket lineup, coming in at 3-4. through the preliminary rounds. As see Simon Milton just adjusting the field there on the onside. As it's down the leg side and called a wide by the umpire. So the run rate currently 6.83, required 7.58. So they've got themselves to a pretty good spot here in this first power play. Sipple is launching down the ground. There is a man down on the fence there. Might have been Golan, I reckon, the man, as he fires it back in. And that is the end of 5 overs. And the score is none for 34. EV2 Cricket requiring another 114 to win off 15 overs at 7.6 per over. Nelson is 22. Sipple is 10. Callies has the figures of 1 over, none for 7.
Dulcet tones of Pat Silcox joining yours truly, Peter Walsh, here at the venue, a spectacular venue. And we're just seeing, we actually saw someone stretching out and going past, and that was William Moggs, who, if he climbed onto the scales wouldn't groan and say get off, because he isn't carrying too much weight, is he?
He's in good shape, no question about that.
What about Ben Warren? When he sat down and had a chat, he said he was very pleased because he'd lost a few kilos, and he was exactly in the frame of mind that he wanted to be and had to be, because it takes it out of you. And I looked at him and I thought I could do a big guesstimate here, and I said 85. He said, what? 77.
Wow.
77 kilos.
That's pretty lean, isn't it? Under 80, got to be happy with that.
Be very happy with that. The lean machine. Yes, that's discipline. And he said, if I want to play at the best cricket that's available for me, I have to be in perfect condition. I'm not so much perfect condition, but ready to rock and roll. He's doing that.
Absolutely. As we see, it looks like Johnny Crognall is going to take up the attack now from that southern end. Gives that one a lot of air outside the off stump. Sipple's edging away. So it runs down towards the third man boundary. I'll get back for 2. And Nelson really hustling. He'll get back for a 3rd, so that's good running from EV2 Cricket.
There's one of those 3s that we were counting yesterday. We haven't seen many of them, but as soon as they realised that the ball might not reach the ropes, they thought, well, look, let's go with 3. And they did very well indeed. Very good running, very aggressive running.
Yeah, the key to success there is getting through that first one with good speed. Crognall will bowl now left arm around to the right-hander as Nelson's advancing and going back into his crease. Nicely cut off on the ring there by Todd Zani. So Wasp currently has an 89% chance of victory for EV2 Cricket, as it's lofted in the air by Nelson. Around the corner out there towards square leg. Ball pitches and is retrieved again by Steve Golan, who's had a bit of work to do out on the ropes so far. The opening 6 overs of this second session at the Mil Jura Senior College. Score none for 39, Nelson 24, Sipple is 13.
And those bodies that have been working so hard right throughout the last little bit. We had the Tri-Nation series before the franchises got together. And if you walk through the streets, not that I'm suggesting you walk through the streets of Mil Jura in the middle of the night, don't think that. There's this ball wide of the off stump, an attempted pull away on the onside, a miss and it through to the keeper. But it's almost impossible. Last night just went for a quick bite to eat. You've got to see someone with a cricket top on, because there's so many in Mil Jura. And the good thing about it, the thing that I really was enthused about last night, was not just the food we had, but the company we kept, but it was wearing the team colours. You know, the franchise, I don't know how much money they've spent, that's none of my business, but the deal is that they've picked a team, they've got themselves organised, and they kit them out. And I don't know whether the instruction is from the team manager or the boss who writes the cheques. You've got to wear them all the time. But gee, there's a lot of them around and they look really good. And the questions are being asked, excuse me, what's this? And it's the old communication, Pat. You tell someone if they want to know an answer, and they give you the answer. And there's a lot of them that were I won't go into specific details, but there just happened to be a TAB where I saw quite a few standing there and having a look. That's all right.
Yeah.
And they were everywhere, so there'll be a big crowd tonight. I'm going to this venue tonight, and so are you. I'm chauffeuring you, I think.
Oh, well, there you go. That'll be a nice bit of transition from my house to the Mil Jura Sporting Precinct.
What's it like there?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a new showpiece, centrepiece of sport and entertainment in the region. Now hosts the local Sunraysia Football Netball League Grand Final. We've got some A-League action coming to that venue in a few weeks' time. And we were lucky enough to host Kings of Leon on the music front out on the Oval a couple of years ago.
That sounds good.
So it's certainly seen some big events in a short time.
Well, we'll see another one tonight. We'll see a presentation of trophies and a wrap-up of what's been a magnificent tournament, if you call it a tournament. I always think about golf as tournaments and tennis as tournaments, and I've never talked in my own mind about cricket being a tournament. It's
competition, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's closer to the mark, but it's been a good competition, this one, that's for sure. None for 42.
Callies has made the breakthrough, swinging the ball in from outside the off stump and getting through the defences there of Grant Nelson. So first breakthrough for the Sand Gropers, the South Australian, Craig Callies. The first wicket, 1 for 42 now in the 7th over. Nelson on his way for 25 from 23.
Bit of a surprise. Creeping up on us, that wicket.
They were just going on pretty comfortably, weren't they? EV2 Cricket, but Callies bowling stump to stump and getting a little bit of swing with the white RJR ball there. So he's coming in from the school end. We'll get another chance to have a look at it. We can see that Nelson's got a pretty open stance, and he was looking to try and hit away on the onside. In the end, that one just taking a middle and leg. So new man to the crease now is Andrew Kratzman.
Yes, he was sitting there helping with the scoreboard, and so he'll come out to bat. And the skipper will have a chat to him after the toss as to what's likely to happen this afternoon in the grand final. He selected not to change the batting lineup, although he came in later yesterday. You wonder about the mindset, about obviously they would have discussed what was going on, and if they could change their mind, you don't have to stay with the same batting order, but to get to 1 for 42, 6.2 overs bowled, that's a good solid start. Run rate is 6.6, the run rate required is 7.7. And I shouldn't add this, but I continue to think about it. The fact is they're in the final. They can't not be in the final. So what's the mindset? You're going to be pick his brain or pick my brain or do whatever because he's going to face his first delivery. And that's not a bad ball, just down leg side. And the keeper is indicating to the umpire who signalled a wide.
Yeah, and 4 of them to go with it as well. So unfortunately, with no one down, fine leg on the boundary. That's run away. Simon Milton unable to just collect that one as it angled down the leg side. Just back to your point, Walshy, about EV2 Cricket, I sort of feel that they might want to give some of the blokes that haven't had much time out in the middle the chance to bat here if it comes their way, so they're ready to go for the grand final, which starts at 2 this afternoon.
Yes, in sporting events, when you can look forward to a competition, this is one of them, very much so, because these two were supposed to play yesterday, but the match was abandoned because of the weather conditions and the track. So that gives us even more to look forward to as to who's going to do what and what's going to happen. And we're not too far away now. In 2 hours' time, the game will be underway. This will be finished by then. And we'll see what does happen. It's a bit of money for grabs too.
And we'll continue to keep our eyes on those signs too. Come the big game, the Hit Me for Sixths, which are strategically located on the side of the Mil Jura Senior College #1 ground. As again, Callies is angling and the ball is going down the leg side. And they'll get through for 2, and that will go for 4 more. So that's going to be leg buys. I reckon Andrew thinks that he got some willow on that one as he just holds his bat up to the umpire as he heads back to the batting crease. So a bit of a mixed bag, this one from Craig Callies, a wicket. We had 5 wides, then 4 leg buys as well, plus a couple of runs off the bat. All the while, it's pushing EV2 Cricket closer to victory here. As Kratzman is under-edging the ball, is beating the keeper again, and it's running down towards the fine leg rope. And in pursuit, should be able to pull that one in. It's a pretty leisurely stroll down there from Jamie Lee. Of course, has been one of the key run makers in this competition so far. And we might just have one more to go here. Is at the end of the over? I think by our analysis there, looks like we've got 7 balls. So this might be a cheeky extra one that's going to get snuck in here.
Could be. And then I've got another curly one for you, because the local knowledge that you possess, Pat, will be to the fore, and I'm sure you'll come good with the answer.
Sipple is turning around the corner, and they'll hustle through for a single. And that's the end of 7 overs. Score is 1 for 57. So a very good start from EV2 Cricket. They're going at 8.14 currently, with a run rate required of 7. The target, of course, is 148. So 91 required for victory off 13 overs at 7 per over. Walsh, is that you feel is pretty manageable at this point in time.
True. Now, we've spoken about a lot of boundaries being struck, reaching the rope, which is 55 metres away. Now, tell me, when we've got a game of cricket here and it's not the rules of 2020, is the boundary right out where we are? We're sitting here in a little club rooms, but how much extra distance needs to be attributed to a batsman who looks for a boundary when there's no rope involved?
I know we played the Tri-Series final here that was roped out at 65, which
Right.
is probably something around about the mark for normal SEA cricket fixtures, I'd reckon. So, yeah, that line would probably come a good 10 or so, maybe 15 metres closer to us here in the pavilion.
Yeah, it gives you an idea as to just how big this ground is. As this first ball of the next over is full toss outside the off stump. Now, if we had the stopwatch to time when the ball struck the bat and when it struck the ropes down on the Deakin Avenue end of the ground, you wouldn't have had a lot of time. Even Usain Bolt out of the blocks couldn't have got out that quick. That was a monstrous blow down the ground, as good as we've seen. Admittedly, a full toss outside the off stump, so written all over the ball was hit me, and it was hit. Sipple is 16, Kratzmann is 5. It's 1 for 57.
He's had his moment so far through this competition, Ashley Sipple. Looking to be pretty confident at the moment out in the middle. So he's backing across and can't beat the man there, Warren, who's fielding on the ring at mid-wicket. Nice bit of work in the field. Good day for batting though, Walshy. Plenty of good viewing conditions here. Fine and mostly sunny. Top of 23 locally today. So that one's squaring up Sipple a little bit as he pushes out onto the offside. Picks up another single. So here's 21. Andrew Kratzmann is 5. Score is 1 for 62 midway through the 8th over.
Yep, just a slight adjustment to the score, and that's 1 for 62. And we await Kratzmann, who looks different now. As at the batting end, he's standing outside the leg stump, or well outside the leg stump. Now he shuffles across, but you can still see all the stumps. Now he's going to scratch out his guard again. He does that, and he wants a fresh guard, which is fair enough. And that takes another world record time of about 1 millisecond, and he's ready to go. The bowler, Crognall, is going to come around the wicket. He's probably going to run between the umpire and the stumps at the non-striker's end, but he's not quite sure about the field placings. He's waving, I won't say furiously, he's got the hand out there, and now he's got the stop sign ready. 1 for 62. A slight hesitation as the bowler comes in now and tosses up, and on the back foot, Kratzmann didn't time that. He wouldn't be happy because that was short and wide, but he slapped the ball and it virtually went straight to turf, and that held up a lot of the speed, and they weren't able to get through for a run, so he settles back down. Andrew Kratzmann on 5, waits and attempts to drag the ball away on the onside. Didn't make any contact, well taken by the keeper. So a little bit of pressure here for Kratzmann, who's 5 off 6. Sipple 21 off 19. Last ball of this over, then Pat will jump back in as this ball is dragged away on the onside. That's a good shot down the ground. Hit and not fielded cleanly down there, and it's not going to roll away for a boundary. They're going to come back to complete 2. That got across the turf so quickly. End of the over, 8 down. It's 1-4-64. The run rate now is 8, with Sipple on 6 and Kratzmann on 7 in reply to the target of 148, with the side that they're playing, the Sandgropers, getting 5 for 147.
So round the grounds we go. Spot on strikers 7 for 80 now in the 14th over of a game that started a little bit later than other fixtures around town this morning. Team Thunder 4 for 22 in the 4th over, chasing a target of 142 for victory. So not the ideal preparation for our ladder leading Team Thunder coming into the grand final, you wouldn't have thought. And Australian Pavilion are underway in their chase of 176 for victory over Lightning Storm. They are none for 10 runs off the first over.
Yes, I noted the inflections in your tone there with that score of 4 for 22 and a final to start in under 2 hours. Yes, it's speed wobbles at the moment, isn't it?
Very much so. As it's been Dacey who's done all the damage with the ball so far. 2 for 2 in his first over. Simmons again picking up wickets. It's 1 for 8 as we continue here at the Mil Jura Senior College. Ball swung away by Sipple. He's going to beat the man there at backward square. So it heads out towards the rope. Get through for 2. And I think Sipple's happy with that. Got a bowling change from that school end. Looks like Budalik bowling his leg spin. Full pitch delivery. Sipple hits it strongly. Gets through the fingers there of David Newham, who can't hang on, so they'll get through for another run there. So score 1 for 67. Sipple 24. Kratzmann now back on strike. He's 7 from 7. We have seen from Andrew, of course, Walshy, the 360 game that he does possess. He loves to reverse and advance down the track. He will look to try and take them on.
Yes, but he undoubtedly is the get-out man. We get rid of him. I can't say that's the end of the penny section. It's not, but he presents as an authoritative figure. The figure is as he stands there now. Looks like a man mountain ready to go. Just having a look around the field and making sure he knows where everyone is. Simon Milton up at the stumps and Kratzmann, the special K-man, ready to go again. And I'd say beaten by that ball just outside the off stump. Now the bails are flashing brilliantly.
The Zing bails have been a big feature of the competition here. Yeah. Great for the game, I reckon.
Oh, I think they're wonderful. Yep, all good. And you spoke about improvisation. That's the attempted reverse sweep. If you get out to a shot like that, you're not happy. And if you don't score runs, you're not happy. And so you've got to be very selective. And he didn't look too happy after he'd missed that one. He'll try again. He waits. It's outside leg stump and he slaps the ball around with a fair amount of vigour. It bounces out to where it'll be Jamie Lee who does the cleaning up and gets the return back, and they go through for 1. It's 1 for 68 with Sipple on 24 and Kratzmann A on 8.
It's already started from Budalik, bowling his leg spinners from the school end. Just the 4 runs from the overs so far. This is a full-length delivery, an appeal. Nothing coming from the umpire. I'm not sure if they were looking at a caught behind or an LBW there. There's a bit of a wry grin on the ump at square leg as he heads to his post. So Budalik completes his first over. He has none for 4. Sipple 24. Kratzmann is 8. And the score is 1 for 68 at the end of 9 overs.
We might see a replay on that one if we can, because they did appear to be very confident, did they not?
Mm.
And the two batsmen in the middle, they've just had a chin wag and they're going to shuffle to the necessary ends. But there seemed to be a little bit of animation there, and the Sandgropers thinking that they had have got through, but that's not the case. And we settle back in there. We haven't seen too many of those appeals as such. That I won't say that they've written their own story there and said that's out, but they look pretty confident, didn't they?
Yeah, they absolutely did. As It's going to be Robert Nichols now coming downwind from the southern end, the left armour. With great zip here on Saturday. So he just gets his field set by skipper Steve Gollan, who's just moving in around the ring. So they've got a man at fine leg on the rope, also a deep third man. And there's a man out at deep mid off as well at this point of time. We're in the second power play. They are allowed a maximum of 4 outside the circle. I think that's what Gollan's just trying to adjust here. He's going to bring the man in who is out there at deep mid wicket. Just going to bring him back up onto the circle here. So just put a little bit of extra pressure on with the extra pace from Rob Nichols. Ball short and into the track, and it's going to be called no ball from the umpire as it passes over not only waist height, but it almost got over the shoulders of Andrew Kratzmann, and that suggests to you, Walshy, that was a very short ball.
Very much so. And I must also add too, it took an eternity for everyone to get settled to have the first ball of Nichols over, because he eventually got it after a couple of minutes of getting the field set. He tries again, and that's another short ball and another attempted swat away. One of those pesky Mil Jura flies hanging around. He tried to belt the living daylights out of that and hit it down towards, well, it could have gone anywhere, could have finished up at Redcliffe's, but he didn't make any contact.
I think he was looking for the no ball the second time around. As we get a look at the replay here. It's well and truly over shoulder height. This time Nichols is bowling a fuller length delivery, and it's run down towards the man on the third man boundary. They'll get back for 2. So the score is now 1 for 71 in this, the 10th over. Kratzmann has reached 10. Sipple is 24 from 22. And Nichols looking to mix things up a little bit, Peter.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been different. What's he got to offer this time? Down leg side, that's a poor ball, and it's swatted away down towards the backward square leg boundary. Well fielded on the boundary. That went like a tracer bullet very, very quickly. It was scooped up on the boundary line in the deep on the onside. And Kratzmann moves to 11, and it's 1 for 72. 9.3 overs gone. Run rate required 7.2, and the run rate at the moment is 7.5. So everything even. Another wicket now. If the Gropers could get another wicket, they'd be right in this game.
So one balloons up off the outside edge from Sipple, but there's no man in the ring there. As it goes down towards deep third man boundary. Nice work from Johnny Crognall as he fires it back into the keeper. So Sipple 25, Kratzmann 11. The current run rate is 7.55. The rate required is 7.26. They've got themselves nicely ahead of the game at this stage, Walshy.
They have. This ball wide of the leg stump and dragged away and hit very sweetly indeed. That was just a little loose and smacked away out towards the deep mid wicket boundary, and it rolls away for 4. Kratzmann 15 off 15. Sipple 25 off 23. 1 for 77. Let's have a look. That's the end of the over, is it not? Or 1 to go. 1 to go, of course, the no ball bowled. So, yes, 6-8 in the no ball. So let's have a look at this over from Nichols, who wouldn't be all that happy. A few balls short and wide. And that one from Kratzmann, who is starting to find his form out there, or continue with his form. Last ball of the over. Again on leg side, and that's hit away backward of square. He'd be disappointed with that delivery, and the over itself falls away after zip to 1-1 and then double 4s. Last wicket falling with score at 42. It's now 1 for 81 after 10, halfway home with Sipple on 25 and Kratzmann A on 19.
You just got the feeling that Nichols didn't want to pitch the ball up to Kratzmann for fear of it being hit straight back over his head, so he adopted that shorter length delivery. And once Kratzmann eventually got his eye in there, he picked off a couple of very juicy boundaries on the onside. So partnership now 39 from 24 balls in just 17 minutes. Okay, really getting things motoring along nicely here. EV2 Cricket, 1 for 81. So he
Well,
started-
sorry, Pat. The change in the field now. I see a substitute fieldsman coming on. That's Wybird, and I didn't see who went off, but someone disappeared just away to our left. But the substitute fieldsman coming on. So the score at 1 for 81 halfway through their 20 overs.
Sipple looks to continue on his journey here. So he's backing away and hitting out towards the man at cover. Wydebird, he's in the vicinity. Jamie Lee comes in and cleans up. So they're desperate now for a wicket, the Sand Gropers. Want to put a break in this momentum. There's the equation. 66 to win from 59 balls remaining, but I think the 9 wickets in hand is probably the most important factor at this point of time. It might have been David Newham, was it, who
I
came
reckon
from
it
the
was.
ground? Yep.
Yep.
Quick pit stop. I'm sure he'll be back into the fray shortly.
Yeah, it was good to see David pop up and say hello. Everyone's got a story to tell, and we're really appreciative of all of the teams making available their players.
Cratton's trying to find some space out there on the offside, unable to beat the man on the ring. So we quickly go around the grounds once again. 15 overs completed in the game between spot-on strikers and Saxon Kings. Strikers are 7 for 88. As Kratzman advances, and he's timed that well. He's managed to hit through the man who was on the ring there at mid-on. Got a bit of a dud bounce late. Kratzman is good enough to complete 2. So he's done nicely there. Have a look at this one. Team Thunder, 6 for 24 behind us at Mil Jura Senior College number 2. Almost through 6 overs in that second session. That's quite remarkable. 6 for 24, chasing 142 for victory. And the other one in action at the moment, Lightning Storm. They made 7 for 175 from their lot of 20 overs as we have seen a wicket fall here while I'm looking around the grounds, Walshy. It looks like Kratzman A is on his way.
Well,
Here's the replay.
Thanks, because I need the replay because I was writing down the scores of Team Thunder. What's he done?
It's bowled him around his legs there, I reckon.
It has.
Here's our man, Kratzman, once again, as we get the look from the square leg umpire. Gets deep back into his crease, and there we go. Furniture is disturbed, so that's an important breakthrough for Budalik, and the score is 2 for 84 now, and this the 11th over. As we see the new man, Matt Harris, striding out to the wicket.
And Kratzman dismissed 4. We'll find out in a sec because we're jumping to all of the other venues that are up and running just to keep you posted. Kratzman out for 21, bowled by Budalik. And the score 2 for 84. And repeating that score, Team Thunder, are you ready for it? Team Thunder, 6 for 24. 6 for 24. Team Thunder, that's extraordinary.
They've been so dominant, haven't they, really, through this competition so far? Might have a look at the card in a moment, but just makes you wonder whether they've maybe flipped the order around there a little, but certainly hasn't paid any dividends.
No, they're chasing 142. That's their score, and of course, as soon as that game finishes, they head over here.
They do.
And get themselves ready for what is the grand final in this competition. And they'll be ready to lock horns with EV2 Cricket, who at the moment are looking to pick up 2 points from their last round robin game. They're 2 for 87, couple to go to finish the 10th over, 10.4 being bowled so far. Harris yet to score, and Sipple is 26.
Nicely bowled by Budalik, just squaring up Harris there. So we'll be able to turn the strike over, another run added to the tally. So 2 for 88, 60 to win, 55 balls remaining. EV2 Cricket still have 8 wickets in hand.
We still see a few moving pictures going through. There's number 16 for the side that wears the orange and looks quite resplendent, the Sand Gropers. There's a few that they've got their tats on display, have they not?
Yeah, running around in the singlets, the boys. So they're obviously happy enough that conditions are warm enough to have the guns out. As we see Mike Beard there just having a chat to Jared Wyeth, who's obviously not playing for Team Thunder in the game out the back at the moment, having a spell before the grand final. So 2 for 88 here at the Mil Jura Senior College, the main ground. 11 overs complete. EV2 Cricket require a further 60 runs from 54 balls. As Nichols looks to set about his work once again. He was a little bit untidy, bowled a bit short of a length in his opening over, and he was certainly dealt with by Andrew Kratzman, but alas, Kratzman has departed since, so we'll get a chance and a look in here at the new man, Matt Harris. See Simon Milton just adjusting his headwear there. He's gone for the cap, standing back in his customary position behind the stumps. Nichols again short. Harris got over the top of it and controlled it well as it heads out towards backward square. That is going to be a 4. So Robbie Nichols just can't get it right at the moment, Walshy.
No, he'd be disappointed. He would be there. That first ball of a new over and slapped away for a boundary to bring that score to a healthy 2 for 92, heading towards a 3-figured result. And then the rest of the chase, which is very much gettable, there's no doubt about that. Sibyl on 26 and Harris on 5. The last man out was Kratzman, who made 21, bowled by Bitterlick for that total. This ball from Nichols, wide of the off stump. And the wicketkeeper did well, actually ran about probably 5 to 6 metres to take that cleanly. And to get across and pick it up was quite good. When I say pick it up, to see it moving so well wide. And let's see if Nichols can find the radar with this ball. That's a full toss down leg side, and that's helped on its way just backward of square on the onside. But straight to a sweeper, fielding in close, and there's no run. So he's gone from one side of the wicket on the offside to one on the leg side. What's next in his book of artillery, etc.? Pat?
Just trying to get the radar on point at the moment as Nichols. As again, he's bowling short. He's certainly trying to force the batsmen back into their crease. There's no question about that. It's swung away there by Harris out towards square leg on the rope. Picks up another single. He's 6. Sipple is 26. And midway through this 12th over, EV2 Cricket moving along pretty comfortably. 2 for 94. They need a further 54 runs to win from 51 deliveries.
And of course, the key stat in all of this is they've only lost the 2 wickets, which is a pretty big stat, all right. This ball full toss and it's taken off on the front foot. Good shot down the ground. Hit sweetly, but straight down to Ben Warren, who had a chat with us. And he said, if you want to remind people that I'm only 77 kilos, you can. 77 kilos. But he said physical fitness is what it's all about. And so say all of this. This is outside the off stump and it's slapped away off the front foot. Just have to move a little bit behind a pillar that I'm through, and it's down the ground for 1, 2 for 95 with Sipple on 27 and Harris on 6. We're going to start to see other teams moving over in this direction shortly to get ready for the big game this afternoon. As that ball's hit full toss outside leg stump and it's helped away, just tickled away down the fine leg boundary for 4. No one down there to render assistance, so we've got one of the Gropers who's had to go for a wander and go for a jog down there, and that's Paul Wybird, who will pick up the ball and bring it back with the score moving to 99 off 12 overs. Partnership starts to build. 2 for 99, Sipple 27 and Harris 10. I don't think Harris would be all that chuffed about how he's delivered the ball. I don't think so. I hear thunder, hark, don't see. Have they done anything out of the ordinary now?
6 for 45. Almost through 8 completed overs there, so still got a bit of work to do. 97 from around 12 overs at 7.97. The concerning factor there, only 4 wickets in the shed.
Well, we're one away from what would be a 100 with Nichols. He wasn't all that happy about the way he was bowling. Nichols, 2 overs, none for 24. When you get knocked around like that, that's brutal. Last wicket falling with the score at 84 for 84 when Kratzmann was out for 21. 2 for 100. Let's see what will happen now. This ball outside off stump and dragged away on the onside and hit very powerfully indeed. And that's gone along the ground all the way out to the fence for 4. You lose it a little bit sometimes with the trees in the background, but that one, no issue whatsoever. Stephen Gollan out there off a successful tri-series campaign. He gets the ball back and it's 2 for 104. And the continuation of some good solid partnerships. This one tossed up full toss and that's swept away, and that's not too far away from the spot sign, although it hit terra firma. But we'll have another look at that because that went reasonably close to, it is the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. My father, he was orange, and my mother, she was green. Well, the father who was orange, let's have a look if we can pick that one up. 2 for 108. As he hit that ball, it was a full toss. It was on leg stump. He advanced and hit the ball with power. They're waiting to get themselves organised, and we'll see, hopefully, just how close that went to the orange ball as we wait now for the man out there just to get himself organised. That's 2 for 108. A few adjustments to what's happening out there. Budalik getting ready to bowl again. They're not quite ready. There's just a little bit of a hold up. The ball is back with the bowler. And what are we waiting for? Just a field change.
And coming across onto the offside now. Take up his post there at point. As we can see, Harris just trying to get back into his crease and look to find some room on the offside. 40 to win, 44 balls remaining. This is our first game this morning. It's part of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale T20 competition. It is the final round of preliminary fixtures as we move closer to the grand final, which will be at this venue. Game starts at 2 p.m. We'll see EV2 Cricket taking on Team Thunder. That one somehow has missed everything. As we could see, Sipple was swinging, looking to hit down the ground. And it's going to be called as a bind by the umpire. So, gee, that must have been very, very close to the stumps on the way through. End of 13 overs. Score is 2 for 110. EV2 Cricket need another 38 runs to win from 42 balls, as they chase down that target set early this morning by the Sand Gropers of 5 for 147. Sipple is 28, Harris is 19.
And we'll keep you posted with that RJR All-Stars game against Team Thunder. RJR made 142. And Team Thunder at our last report had gone from 6 for 24. Yes, you heard correctly, 6 for 24 up to 6 for 45. 6 for 45. So that's a game that in effect won't obviously have anything to do with the ladder positions, but a bit of a surprise as such. They're now 6 for 49, almost halfway through their 20 overs. 6 for 49, chasing 142 for victory. Being the best side in the competition so far, not having had a loss and having that one game abandoned, but interesting that they enter the grand final with some question marks, or are we just thinking, okay, they knew they were going to be playing in the grand final? I don't know how to work that.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get the answer to that question, Walshy, but got a bowling change in effect here from the southern end. As it is Ben Warren for the Sand Gropers, and he's going to go for a boundary. First delivery. So not the ideal start there for Benny Warren. And score now advances along to 2 for 114. This is the 14th over. Sipple, so moving pretty comfortably along. 32 from 29. Harris is 19 from 10. As it was short, and he looked to try and cash in on the onside. Ball has gone down towards the third man boundary. You can see just at the top of the screen there. They'll get back for a couple of buys. So score 2 for 116. Now, Spot On Strikers and Saxon Kings, as we look at the update of that score, looks like they've played a 15-over fixture because of the later start there. Spot On Strikers 7 for 88 from their 15. Saxon Kings are none for 21 with 2 overs complete of the 15 as that one's dispatched out on the offside and going away for 4 once again. Ash Sipple not missing out this time. He goes to 36 from 31. Score is 2 for 120. 28 runs to win, 39 balls remaining. So things look to be in hand here for EV2 Cricket. And the other game that's currently playing around town, Lightning Storm made 7 for 175 from their 20 overs. Australia Pavilion going okay, 2 for 55 now at the end of 8 overs.
And this game is full of interest. That ball just outside the off stump on the full. Attempted play off the front foot through extra cover, but no contact. Games here are developing, and all I'm saying here is the side that's batting now, EV2, this next ball is swept away in the air. Can I see a fieldsman? I can't. Can I see the ball over the top? I can. Can I see the signal from the umpire? Did he put the 2 hands up? He did for 6. Thank you. Thanks, Pat. That was a big blow, a lusty blow. And the reason I make the mention is all of the batters have got starts. All of them. Sipple's 42 not out. Harris 19 not out. Nelson made 25 and Kratzmann made 21. That's Andrew Kratzmann. And that ball is neatly taken through the unprotected slip area and down to the fence for 4 before Johnny Cognale can get there. And so the runs are really flowing, and that is a boundary, and that is that 50? It is Sipple with that boundary. Partnership now continues to bound forward, runs to win 18 off 36 deliveries. It's 2 for 130, waiting for Sipple's score to tip over. It will in a sec. Last wicket falling with the score at 84, so this has been bowled. This partnership, 46 runs, the partnership. And Sipple to tick over into the half-century territory. Good partnership too, and just what you'd need now with everyone having a look.
No update from the NV play there. We feel that Sipple, we thought we saw him raise his bat in the middle there, standing out there with Harris, but they've got him as 46, so we'll go with that for the moment. As Harris is advancing and swinging out to the boundary. There's a man on the rope out there, Steve Gollan, and the ball is coming back in. So you get the feeling that EV2 Cricket are really trying to finish this off in a hurry, Peter Walsh.
They are. Have to get there before the hot chips run out.
Oh, yes.
That's what it is. Yes, they're doing well. That ball pulled away on the onside. Budalik into his 4th over, his final over, 1 for 23. Giving up the prize wicket of Andrew Kratzmann for 21. Bowled him, 2 for 132. Harris facing now. That's another ball down leg side, and that's another sweep round the corner. It's been fairly predictable this over. Just wide of the leg side and pushing into the open spaces and picking up the singles quite regularly. 2 for 133, Harris 21. And Sipple now we can confirm is sitting on 47. So the partnership earlier on might have been applauded because of reaching the 50 mark. This next ball swept in the air and it rolls on the ground out into the deep on the onside. They go through for 1. Sipple 48, 2 for 135. The target is 148 for victory. And I'm reckoning, with me having 2 balls to take in this over, that you'll be calling the end of this game, Pat, at the end of the next over or in the middle of, because they're scurrying towards a victory and towards a slice of confidence as this ball he advances and hits down the ground for 1, 2 for 135. Sipple on 22 and Harris on 22. 1 ball remaining in this over and 13 runs to win, and I'm very, very confident that they'll score these runs in the next over, says he who's hungry. And that's why I said that.
Yes, 50 partnership brought up here between Sipple and Harris. 2 for 135. Budalik continues from the school end, and once again Sipple is in control and over the top of that one, hitting it out towards the man on the rope there at deep mid-wicket. So that's the end of 15, 2 for 136. EV2 Cricket now only need 12 runs to win. 30 balls remaining. And it's been a very good partnership between Ash Sipple and Matt Harris. Sipple's advanced to 49 and Harris sitting on 22.
How good's that? Hammer Stewart, who is officiating as a scorer on the board, as well as coming up and having a look at where we're at, has just confirmed he's pleased that we've given the score, and he's gone out and changed the score on the scoreboard. What sort of multi-skilling is he performing at? A high level.
He got out there in the flash too, didn't he, to the board, because he's only just here on your right shoulder, only a matter of moments ago. So he's just adjusting the digits out there, making sure that the players get a good feeling for where the game's at.
You better be careful too, because if he's showing dexterity at doing a scoring duty, he wants to keep his place in the team. He doesn't want to be the scorer. But he knows what's happening there, and he's doing the right thing. 2 for 136. The target is 148. 12 to go, and I'm still very confident, Patrick. This will be the last over.
Okay, Jamie Lee bowls one short and into the wicket, and Sipple is just getting it over the man on the ring there at mid-off. So he goes out towards the boundary. He's through for 2, and that now will bring up his half-century as he goes to 51 from 38, as we can hear some support from his teammates in the pavilion here at the Mil Jura Senior College. Sipple 51 from 38, 6 fours and 1 maximum. He's controlled things nicely as he hits out towards us here, trying to pierce the gap between the 2 men on the onside on the boundary, but Steve Gollan's up to the challenge. Retrieves and sends it back into the keeper. So Sipple, 52, Harris is 22, 9 to win, 28 balls remaining here. So that one's wide and down the leg side, not taken by keeper Milton. So there's going to be a chase here for Steve Gollan. They're through for 2. They'll definitely get 3. That, I reckon, will pull them up. The ball comes in from the deep there, courtesy of Johnny Crognall. So, signal is off the bat. Thought they actually might have been wides down the leg side, but no doubt the batsman will take that on board. So 6 to win now from 27 balls. Sipple is back and forcing nicely through the offside, and that will get out to the boundary for another 4. And Peter Walsh, he might be on the money here. We might be just about done.
I'm just in line at the Lucky Shop. It's called the TAB. You just stand there with a big fat smile on your face and just say, "Hand me the cash, big fella." No, I'm only joking. But just the way they're playing, and they're in a vein of form they want to be. Sipple doesn't want to get out. He wants to finish with a red ink, a dot. He's 56 and Harris 25. Remember, the last wicket fell with a score of 2 for 84. So that's 16 and 46. That's 62 runs. Next ball is off the back foot, hit backward of point just for 1. So they've only got 1 run now to win this game and win by 8 wickets. And then have a rest. I'm sure they'll have a chat with Kratzmann still out there practicing with the bat in hand. That's Andrew Kratzmann. As we now wait for what could be the last ball of this game. It's worked away on the offside behind point for a run. They'll walk through for the single and they will win the game. 2 for 148, the side that is into the grand final. And they defeat the battlers from the Sand Groper territory who were competitive. They got to 2 for 147, but the chase was pretty bold, 2 for 148. Let's just have a look at Nelson made 25. We had Kratzmann making 21. Sipple not out 57. How well did he go? And the other batsman who did well and did excellent support was Harris, who made 26. So overall, Pat, it was a good performance by the batters who need to get themselves ready for this afternoon, and I reckon they did just that.
They did. They looked very impressive in this outing before the grand final, which will get underway at 2 p.m. local time. EV2 Cricket going in against Team Thunder. Now, just before we head back for a break, let's see if we can't check in around the grounds and see how those other games are going. First off, we'll have a look at Spot-On Strikers and Saxon Kings, who are playing a 15-over contest. Saxon Kings are none for 42 after 5. They need another 49 runs for victory from 10 overs at 4.9, so they're looking in the box seat to get a win in their last clash, the Saxon Kings. Team Thunder, 6 for 74 in the 13th over. They chased down the target set by the RJR All-Stars of 142. So the equation there, 68 from 47 with 4 wickets remaining. And Lightning Storm looked to be in a reasonable position there. Australian Pavilion 3 for 70 at the end of almost 11 overs. Lightning Storm made 7 for 175, batting first. As we can see, the players from both teams, the umpires, just shaking their hands and congratulating each other for what was a pretty spirited game of cricket, Peter Walsh.
It was, yes, no doubt. And to see one side playing in virtually a semi-final and then shaking hands with the opposition who they won't be meeting again. They'll probably meet them for a cold one tonight at presentation evening. But they've got to get themselves focused now, and I'd be fascinated. That'll be one of the questions I ask to Andrew Kratzman after the toss as to what do you do at the end of a game where everybody's got to start. You've had 9 bowlers. What's the best thing to come out of the game? I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll be back with the live action of our grand final. It's due to start at 2 p.m. It will be, of course, Team Thunder taking on EV2 Cricket, and we look forward to your company then.
G'day and welcome to Mil Jura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mil Jura, and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
No cameras, no complex calibration, just targeted, effective chemical application. Hardy Geo Select.
The psychological health and safety culture of your workplace is vital to the success of your organisation. Are you addressing psychosocial hazards in the workplace? Learn to create a positive mental wellbeing culture where your business and your people flourish through our in-person, live online and self-paced e-learning courses. Scan and visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Hardy Sarator 7000 with advanced comfort, convenience and efficiency. This class-leading sprayer now moves even further ahead. The Hardy Sarator 7000.
Global Camel is back. Global Roto Moulding still offer our trusted rainwater tanks along with exciting new products like diesel trailers and on-site diesel tanks where quality meets innovation. Global Roto Moulding, Coolong Avenue, Irimple.
Awfully hot. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. Oh, ha! Good if you stopped the stream at some point, Todd.